Amazing evening to you, Nigeria. Thank you so much, Asana, to join me. Welcome to Updated Precious. It always make my mind this sweet me to bring on an update for things that happen for inside Nigeria. But as usual, not be every time Bele go the sweet person for these updates then because sometimes the updates they need the update at all because the sweet Bele to they talk about things we get to do with human being them every time. Me self I be human being. The things self go tire me to talk about. Well, how we go do now? Now the job will sign up for with this, so we will continue to the drum. Welcome to Updated Precious. Now here we bring on a matter them we consigned with country Nigeria. So today we get plenty to read and what we go talk about. Then we go move straight, go enter inside our guest where they stand by, they wait for us to give us account, first-hand account of things and where it be say they happen, especially as a consign gone waiting consign Benue State right now. But before we enter inside Benue State matter, make I just let you know say, just as we they cry for Benue State issue, things they happen for other parts of the country, sef. Because when they cry for Benue State, things they happen for other parts of the country. As I talk to you right now, they kill a lot of people. Then buy people for inside Plateau State, where it be say they travel, and that's some of the matter we'll talk about. Then we'll also talk about political issues, the ADA, ADA, and other issues that may concern them. Because people don't they drag Aerofy and Michi like I pass my neighbor generator. Say, oh, now go bring up party where it be say on a name ADA, so that it go first APC enter inside ballot box and we could see as it could take Bina. But we go tell on all that story. I make a begin giving at the headlines them as it hot today one by one. Okay, moving on. 12 wedding bound travelers killed in Plateau mob attack. That one day we'll go talk about a mob attack. Plateau governor visits victims, vows justice. We'll go talk about that one too as it hot. And then police nab 22 suspects over killing of 12 wedding guests in Plateau. They don't map them already. Those will do the thing. They don't map 22 already now. That one a very welcome development because as if they happen, then they catch them sharply. And then I also tell her that say Amnesty International condemn the matter as they get to do with Plateau State. Say good as it be say then go kill innocent people where it be say they go their wedding. Say that one no good at all. And then we'll enter inside other and still inside that matter. Oh, I'm not telling that. Say the governor of the state of Plateau State, he don't condemn the one way them buy people for inside the mob attack. Some accounts say na 8, some say na 11, some say na 12. So no vex if the numbers the shaky as they read the different newspapers them. Not be me report them. Say not be me they carry them, not be me they write the news them. As they write them, that's why they use interpret them. So they say the Plateau State governor don't condemn the travelers, the attack of the travelers. Them. He don't even beg for peace, and he don't go beg. He don't go visit the victims. Then one by one begin beg. Say, I beg, make una no vex. It might be no. Make una forgive people we kill on. All right. Shetima condemned Borno suicide attack. Says Tinubu committed to restoring peace. Suicide attack been happen for inside Borno State. I'm not telling that one. Okay, more matter day. Nigeria deny fresh herdsmen. Nigerian police deny fresh herdsmen attack in Benue community. They say no fresh herdsmen attack for Benue community. Yellow water attack. Over 50 fake IDPs arrested in Makudi camp. That one said the bomb explosion don't kill 5, wound 15 people for inside Kano. That one said this kata then where they happen back like this. Too much like this. That's now waiting some people will talk about. Forest guards will be counterproductive, group tells federal government. That one said day. And then gunmen kill ex-PDP chairman in Benue State. All right, we'll move to other issues very quickly. Actress Buki Raji don't apologize. He don't beg for supporting Tinubu for 2023. Come blame border closure for business setbacks. Say now border closure, I make business they go back. Meanwhile, Oga Omahi, Minister for Works, don't order for repair of Lafia Makudi Road, where lead to yellow water, where make the president no fit reach the village when that attack happened. He don't order now, say make them repair them after Tinubu abort in mission to visit your water because of bad road. Aerofy has no moral right to criticize Tinubu. Who they talk this one? Oga Patapata for inside APC. Meanwhile, 2027 ADA is a joke. Keyamo na they mock the new coalition party, saying a joke. And then 2027 coalition, ADA not adopted by Article others yet too. They say they never adopt them yet too. This na Article 8, now they talk this one. Which kind of bracadabra this over the place? Why did they do koju? All right. Rivers, Bayelsa go soon join APC. In fact, no be say they go join APC. Who talk this one? Your Senate President Godswill Obodakpabio. Now talk this one. EFCC don't arrest Governor Alia Aid. Nko Aundana over alleged sextortion. Sextortion, nine then column. But we could move to other issues. Other issues. I see Tinubu getting 99.9% votes in 2027. Now, Akpabio they talk this one. Say in case you don't know, or Tinubu will get 99.9% vote for 2027. All Nigerians go vote for him because they too love him. The man too do good. That's so they talk. We will build a bomb deep sea port. Tinubu they assure Governor Eno. People come they say, why you no assure am this one before import to your party? You get to wait till in comot enter your party before you be say you go assure am this one abi. Okay. All right. Ondo Governor Ayedatiwa approves death penalty for kidnapping. That one serve day. And the NCOS, that's the Nigerian Correctional Service, don't suspend officers over inmate passport scandal. In case you don't understand this, person there for inside prison they do international passport. It shock you. He won't travel. He come out, he go do capture for international passport. Meanwhile, a prison inmate in be. My God, Nigeria, no go sister amaze you. FG denies abandoning Nigerians in Iran. Says working with Armenia for evacuation. And then Olufemi Shonoye steps down as NNPC spokesperson. All this matter and more. Now we're going to put our insight sharply today for inside the show. But before I bring my guest, come on, make I just talk on sharply for waiting happen for inside Plateau State because you know go good, we could talk the one we happen for other places and we no go talk the one we happen for Plateau State. As they talk to you, then talk say about 12 people where it be say being they to travel to then be the travel to wedding. Now it be say don't they don't mob for inside Plateau State. So this one happened and this one don't come raise a lot of eyebrow. People don't they vex about them. As 12, at least 12 travelers from the Basawa community for inside Zaria local government area of Kaduna State, they don't kill them for inside attack by a mob in Mangu local government area of Plateau State. Now, the incident occurred around 8 p.m. yesterday night, when a group of 31 individuals, including men, women, and children, were traveling in a 18-seater bus reportedly owned by Ahmadu Bello University, Abu Zaria. The group was en route to Qua'an Pan local government area to attend the wedding ceremony when they were attacked. 11 of the travelers sustained various injuries and are currently receiving treatment at a hospital in Mangu. The victims were said to have mistakenly taken a wrong route and stopped to ask directions when they were surrendered and attacked. A survivor, Ibrahim Umar, said the group was unfamiliar with the area and had stopped to seek guidance when a mob gathered and launched the assault. Now they said they started beating and attacking us with dangerous weapons. Omar recounted they killed the driver first and attacked others and burned the bus with bodies inside. The chief imam of Jam'atu Izalati Bidao, he don't condemn the matter. Sheikh Suleiman Haruna, he confirmed say 8 of the bodies have been recovered and deposited at Mangu General Hospital, while efforts were ongoing to locate the remaining corpses. He commended the chairman of Mangu local government area for the prompt response and coordination with security agencies. Person where they put my for talk for the Plateau State Police Command, DSP Alfred Alabo, confirmed the command. You don't confirm, say true, this one happened. The incident say it happened for inside the state. Now, as we still dey talk about this incident, which happened for inside Plateau State, um yeah Plateau governor don't visit victims. He can't vow says justice must happen. So the governor of Plateau State, Kīllēd Manasseh Mutfwang, he don't condemn the Friday mob attack for inside Mango district of Mango local government area. He don't we claim about 8 to 12 lives because that's what they just they call them the figures they staggered. Earlier, then been reports say this matter been happen. Now, Oga Mutwang, he don't visit the scene of the incident and survivor receiving treatment for inside Mango General Hospital. He don't talk, say this one a very bad thing will happen as it expressed deep sorrow over the attack. He described the mob action as utterly condemnable and avoidable, stressing that the victims were innocent commuters caught in a volatile area battling sustained terrorist threats. In case you don't understand that one, say these people then we be see them by now. Say them by them because of say this area for instance Mango, they don't they face terrorist attacks since for the hands of people. So because of the terrorist attack, what they don't they face anything, you know, say when a snake don't bite you before, anything way long, you could appear them, you won't kill them. So now waiting the governor they explain with this, not the me talker. He said today is a tragic day for us in Plateau. I never imagined such a senseless act of violence could occur within our borders. He said, the same youth who have supported our security efforts must not become perpetrators of injustice or jungle justice. This is unacceptable, and we will not sweep it under the carpet. Now, he extended his condolences to the bereaved families, the government and people of Kaduna and the Zao Emirate. He also announced plans to dispatch high-level delegates to Kaduna State to also beg them, say make them know. So high-level personalities go Kaduna State, go beg them, say make una sorry for this loss will happen because see they mistake them for people who be say they attack them. Now waiting happen. So our police, as they talk to you, so don't map 22 people concerning the attack. Our police said they will make sure say they fish out the remaining ones them where EBC follow conduct this one. Sharp, sharp, they don't catch them. Yes. So Mark will move on to and I also tell you, say Amnesty International don't also condemn the attack. Say this one, supposed to happen at all. The Human Rights Organization today, Saturday, emphasized the need for authorities to ensure that those responsible for the attack are swiftly brought to justice. According to reports, so Amnesty International talk, everybody they condemned the incident. In fact, early today, the matter been the trend on top of social media. Say how people go day, say they go wedding, they come gbab them, come attack them. Which kind senseless thing be this one where they happen for inside Nigeria? This one, now very, very bad thing. But make we move on to other issues very quickly. Now, police don't deny fresh herdsmen attack for inside Benue community. I don't tell on this one, say it don't happen. But maybe I go feel leave this one when it reach time for inside my guest will go come in. We'll talk about them. But they say no fresh attack don't happen for inside Benue State again. And then I tell on I say about 50 IDPs. They don't arrest fake ones for inside Yellow, but the Benue State. Talking about other issues we happen for inside the country, Kano State Police Command don't confirm the death of 5 people from a military-grade explosive for inside the state. Now, the unfortunate incident happened Saturday for inside scrap collection company, way for inside Eastern Bypass for the state. The police confirmed that the vehicle was coming from Yobe State when the explosion happened. And as I talk to you, about 5 people don't buy because of that matter. And a very, very sad incident. The way be so just they lose lives anyhow, like say it no matter. Meanwhile, concerning all this insecurity where they happen for inside the country, people don't come out and talk, say forest guard no go fit solve our problem for all these ones where they happen for inside our country from left, right, and center. Following the proposal of government to bring out forest guard to use control the matter the way they happen. People don't talk, say forest guard say they not be the solution to our problem. Because as I talk to you right now, guys wey be say carry gun don't kill the former People Democratic Party chairman for inside the Taka local government area of Benue State. They don't kill him. Now, now they say before they may kill him on Friday night, him be the commander of the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service for inside the local government. It was gathered that the deceased lost his wife last year in same circumstance, and his house was burnt, and now himself don't buy for inside Benue State. Okay, look, we'll quickly move on to other issues because sharp, 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 so that we'll bring my guest in. I tell her, I say, Madam Buki Raji, don't apologize. Say, Chai, say, I do bad for supporting Tinubu for 2023 because see the kind of hardship where I don't bring for Nigeria or why I encourage to bring it for Nigeria. Meanwhile, Oga Omahi don't talk, say, sharply, sharply, make them begin repair the road we lead to your water because of say, now waiting make president no free visit that place. Now, entering inside politics sharply, a chieftain of the ruling of Progressive Congress for inside Kaduna State. He don't talk to Malam Nasir El Rufai. Say he no get any conscience, he no get mind to even try to criticize President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Say we be with all the things them we do. Say in administration fail woefully, he fail for grand yakata. So saying no fit try am at all. So whether them form coalition or no coalition, say you no go anywhere. Meanwhile, Festus Keyamo, our oga pata for inside aviation, he don't come talk say, hey, say this name, All Democratic Alliance, Ada, say in fact, it's a very funny name. Say because they no go anywhere. They no fit go anywhere. And say they no go fit win the current administration. I make Oga Godswill Akpabio don't talk. Say that name, say they no fit. Say they no even fit reach anywhere. Say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu go win 99.9% of vote for inside the country, whether they like am or not. For this election, when they come, President Bola Tinubu go win 99.9% of vote. As a matter of fact, Oga Atiku aide come dey talk say they never really even adopt the ADA yet to say they never really make up their mind whether na the ADA or not. Now be say they go choose. People come they say wetin they go on. Who talk this one? Demola Olarewaju will be the special assistant on digital media and strategy to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Now they talk this one. For inside in tweet today, say he was surprised at the wide report that the ADA is the opposition coalition platform ahead of the 2027 elections. They say, now wow, so they never even make up their mind which one did they choose yet. So why everybody can't they carry the news now? And as this all they happen, make I just hear that I say, Oga Akpabio don't still talk and say River State, Bayelsa State, say then they on their way to APC because all of them go join APC. How it takes see this one they happen? And just a very quick one. Yes, operatives of the Makodi Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) don't arrest Dr. Nkor Aundana, the special advisor to Governor Hyacinth Alia on documentation, research, and planning for alleged sextortion and cyberbullying. The commission don't disclose this one for inside a statement to ABC them post for their Facebook Saturday. According to the statement, the governor's aide was arrested on Friday in Makodi following claims by some female students accusing him of unethical and criminal behavior involving sexual exploitation, saying sexually they exploit them. In fact, the matter plenty, but the EFCC they handle the matter, so make I leave them for EFCC. Sharply, we can move on to other issues. Now, the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't promise to build deep sea port for Akwa Ibom State. As the governor of the state don't port to APC. Remember, say most times when they port, they talk say they port so that they go benefit from the center. So people can't talk say so if the person no support your party or the governor no support your party, you no go give them development, you no go do the work what you supposed to do for inside the different states. That's not the question where a lot of people they ask. Okay, very quickly, make I narrate that story we get to do with correctional center. As we hear say they don't suspend two personnel following the recent incident where involve a convicted inmate allegedly attempting to process an international passport while still in custody. In prison time never end though. Do international passport. It is very interesting for the kind of things that they happen for inside Nigeria. But Shapali, make I bring in my guest, Jerry. So joining me for inside the studio this evening, now barrister Frank Uto, him, na lawyer, and him be citizen of Benue State. As a matter of fact, in village Gongo, na Yelewata, and he won't come tell us some kind things that we be seeing happen for inside the village. So far, so good. Now, Oga Frank, thank you so much as you joined me again. Good evening, and thank you as a deep patient to wait for me to narrate other things that they happen for inside the country. Welcome.
Thank you, Precious. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for having me. Yeah,
Thank you. So, this is exactly 8 days after the incident now. How your village day?
it can better be imagined than explained. A very small village where about 200 people and more were killed. You can
Hmm.
just imagine what's happened. And even though I'm in the United States right now,
Hmm.
thousands of kilometers away, uh, I've been feeling the reverberating effects of what happened. I really want to assure you that in the last 5 days, I've not slept up to accumulatively up to 10 hours in the last 5 days. I've been losing sleep because I know like over 80 people amongst the guys killed. I have a direct relationship with them.
That's what you talk.
Many of my family relations. These guys are harmless. Some of the most gentle men you could find anywhere. All they are concerned with was just living their life in their village, going to their farm, coming, eating, and then going to play in the evening. That's all. They pay their taxes because you could see their farmers on when anytime they're transporting goods to the town, they pay taxes. They get exploited. They pay taxes in like 4, 5 checkpoints, just to deliver this. So they pay taxes. So, but, and another sad part of it is that these people overwhelmingly voted Tinubu. That community, they voted Tinubu. That time I was standing against, I was in the PDP. So I was defeated. I lost the unit because they said no, they want to vote Tinubu. Tinubu will defend them. And like I told you in the other interview the other time, the agent of Tinubu in the election was killed. He was buried today, the 7th day of the incident. Yeah, Telumunze, my cousin, that was the agent. When APC was established, when APC started her first membership drive in February of 2014, that time APC was registering just 100 people per unit, per polling unit. So my name was the first on the register of that polling unit, that year water polling unit, and then this guy's name was the second. So he has been constantly in APC. I left the party then because I won election. I won the ticket of House of Reps for Makurdi Guma. And they stole the ticket, they received it and gave someone who was never in the party. You know? So that was what led me to leaving the party that time to teaming up with PDP. So in the last election, I was in the PDP. Right now, I'm not involved in Nigerian politics anyway. I was in the PDP, and that guy, he stood firmly as the agent of APC, and they delivered the polling unit. The 3 polling units in Yerota, because other settlements were displaced too. So they brought their polling units to Yerota because they felt that Yerota was the safest place. And Precious, let me tell you, when we are saying Yerota, some other people will be thinking it's a settlement that's inside the bush, right? Like any of these other villages. Yerota is placed on the highway. That's the place that Tinubu could not go. Federal highway that is dualized. That is just 25 minutes drive from Okoti.
But you know, say it rained that day and flood been worried that day for inside the
There
place.
was
So
no
what
flood.
between the president?
No, there was no flood. Where there was flood was like 30 kilometers after Yerwata on the way to Lafia. That place is called Akeleku. So that road, there was a slope. You know, those guys who built the road really did not take care of that situation very well, because there's a slope there and then a stream there. So when it rained heavily, you find water on the road. You know, so that was in Akeleku in Nasarawa State, not in Yerota. You know, Yerota is just 48 kilometers from Makodi. It's just 25 minutes drive. There was no flood, but you couldn't go.
This is your sign to go.
So the people, we are facing a very huge humanitarian crisis right now, because the people are traumatized, they are devastated, they are scattered all around Makodi, and they've not been catered for adequately. I will tell you that they've been sleeping on bare floors. For the first few days they were in that primary school, mosquitoes all over, there was no water, there was no toilet.
So because the houses were burnt, so they don't have anywhere to stay right now.
Yeah, so they were camped at the international market in Makodi. It was built by Governor Suswam. It has not been used yet. So they are using that place as a temporary IDP camp right now. So there's no water there. But although I just heard yesterday that they started bringing water in tanks, and in the initial days there was no food. As a matter of fact, the food that Pastor Edenchevi donated, they carted it away. Sort of, they
I hear
stole
that
those.
they were
Yeah,
stealing their food. Yes.
they stole those bags of rice. And many of them went there with bruises, with sores on their body. There was no treatment. I learned that today they called me to say uh, they've started attending to them. They've started sending some medical personnel to attend to them. Although the ones who were bruised very well, who had fracture and bones, were taken to the teaching hospital. They have been attended to very well. I can attest to that. Now, so that's the condition of the people from Yerota. But few of our guys are still in the village, because they've reinforced the security detachment in the village. So the Mopol who came, they've been distributed into some of the flashpoints in the bush. But the question is, for how long will they stay there? Because it's usually like that. After about 3 days, 4 days, they'll certainly leave. So they've also added the soldiers, because like I told you, on that day when the attack happened, the soldiers in Yerota were just 4. They were just 4. So they were just where they were at the primary school there. They did not move out of the primary school when these attackers were burning the market, burning people in their houses. So they were there at primary. But on the other hand, one could also commend them for stationing, for being at the primary school there, because in about 4-5 classrooms, our people filled up about 4-5 classrooms, because the primary school is together with is annexed to the church, the Catholic Church, St. Joseph Catholic
So
Church.
that
So
means they would have killed people in that primary school too if they didn't,
if they
if they
had
were not
reached that
stationed there.
place, we could have been talking of thousands now. We could have been talking like the number that happened on 911. You understand? Yeah.
Whoa.
Because we are IDPs even in Yerota there. We're IDPs. We don't sleep in our houses. So on the day of the attack, even let me even tell you something that nobody has said this all this while. On the day of the attack, right? You see, we have a dual carriageway.
That's what you said. It's a
The
federal
road there.
highway.
Okay.
Federal
So
carriage.
yeah, so on the median of the road, on the median of the road, the median that divided this lane and that lane, people do sleep on the median of the road for fear of attack if they sleep in their homes. So
So
even
they
on
rather
that day,
sleep for express road.
exactly
Yay,
because it's
wahala
yeah,
do.
because it's open. You understand? They prefer that because it's an open place. So on the highway, at least light will be flashing every now and then, light of oncoming vehicles.
So they feel safer to sleep at the middle of the expressway
That is
instead
the
of them to
paradox.
sleep in their houses.
That is the paradox of what is happening in my town, in my village. They feel safer sleeping on the federal highway, on the median of the federal highway. So that day they were there because that day there was the news that those guys are coming. So they were there. But unfortunately for us, and then fortunately for those terrorists, it started to rain. That's why many of these guys now went back to
Oh,
their
so they
homes.
can't
And
sleep. Yes, under the rain,
yes,
they
it
can't
started
sleep
to
in the
rain.
open.
Yeah, heavy rain. It started to rain. That's why many of them went back. And then many of them were in those stores that you saw the pictures that were burnt. Because of course, many were not from the community there. They just came from neighboring settlements. Because theirs, they are a little bit in the hinterlands, some few meters, kilometers away from the federal highway in the bush. So they do come to stay in Yerota. So that was what happened. So those people are traumatized right now. People are burying their dead today. My cousin, his remains was just interred today. That's the guy who was APC's agent in the last
Yes, that's
election.
what it's
Yeah,
like. Mm.
they just buried him today. So a lot of people are burying their loved ones. Some are just burying the bones that they packed because skulls, they're just picking
Would they
skulls,
bones and
bones.
skulls? Would they even know whose bone is whose bone, or they just pack bones together to
You know,
bury?
it's
Because
symbolic. It's symbolic. You just give it a burial. It's symbolic. You understand? You know that these guys, they slept in this room. They slept in this place.
okay,
So
so
they
you're
are born
saying that
beyond
okay, this bone is a person's bone.
exactly. So if it's a child, you know that okay, we have a child who slept here. So you could see that this guy who was born here is a child. This one is a woman. So you assume. So it's quite it's just to give them a symbolic burial, sort of. So you know, but it's a day that has gone into infamy as the day that the murderous Fulani guys invaded our town, our little village, our very peaceful village, and took off almost 10% of the population
All right.
of that
You
village.
did mention now that you've mentioned Fulani being responsible for the attack. What do you
Yes.
think the security agencies have done so far? Have you seen any action so far? Because it's security, the chief of army staff today, I just read it in the news. I'm sure you heard when I read it that the chief of army staff is promising that they will make sure that they apprehend those responsible for the attack in your village. So, have you heard of any arrests yet?
No
Or do you?
arrest. And I just pray that the chief of army staff and the chief of defense staff will be different from what has been happening in the past. You know, I just hope they'll be very different because we've had these promises over and over and over again in the course of the years, and nothing has happened. No single people come in their hundreds and carry out this kind of attack, killing hundreds, and then no single person will be arrested. That's we who are mere civilians even know these guys, you know. But I always look the people. These are people that come to a water market every time. Like on the day of that attack, right? One of the survivors, because they burned the room that is next to his, he struggled to escape through the window and took off. You know, before they could shoot at him. So one of the survivors said when they came, so one of the guys was telling his fellow criminals, his fellow terrorists that, look, we should break this door because in this door, if we break this door, we'll get lot of phones because that is where people charge their phones. You know, in the village, there's no light. So
Right.
there's a central place where people do charge their phones. Do take phones to somebody.
So wait, you
It's
guys
a
don't
kind
have
of,
electricity in your village?
there's no electricity. So the
Ah,
federal highway,
wait, a village that is in the federal highway.
no electricity. A village that is just 48 kilometers from the capital. We're in the middle between Mokodi and Lafia because we are 48 kilometers from Yerwata and then 50 kilometers to Lafia. So we're in the middle. So there's no electricity. I took the borehole to that town. I was one who drilled the borehole. in the town, place it at the
So if that
at the.
didn't happen, they won't have access to water.
There's no water now. We just have one functional borehole, and then and although the governor, when he went there last week, he promised that he's going to drill 4 boreholes. So you could see it was this tragedy that is now attracting some things to the town. It's unfortunate for me anyway. So, but the governor promised him that he's gonna drill 3 boreholes, but there's no electricity. There's no hospital because the dispensary that is there just have 4 dilapidated beds, 4 beds without even mattresses. There's no hospital. The only government presence in that place is the primary school. The primary school, that's the only government. Meanwhile, the market in Yerwata is the biggest in Guma in terms of revenue. So
But
these
yet we don't
Fulani
have
guys,
enough.
no, they don't have. So these Fulani guys, they do come to market every time. So we don't attack them. You see instances where we don't attack them. They come to our villages every time. They come to the market every time to sell and to buy. So they know the place. They must not necessarily use a mole. Some people will think that, okay, because they know this location, maybe there is an insider from the village. There must not necessarily be an insider because these people know the place in and out because they do come. We do same. A thief man will see a full animal in the bush. We won't even touch him. Despite this killing,
Okay, Mr.
they
Frank,
won't touch him.
the president of the Middle Belt Forum had an interview yesterday with Arise Television. I would just play a slight excerpt of that interview because he did assert to a lot of things. He said he corroborated somehow what you told me the last time you came here, that those responsible were the Fulanis. And then he also did say that the Nigerian military was aware of that before the incident happened, which you also said that it is likely that they were aware. In fact, he said that how can he, a civilian, have access to such information and the Nigerian military would not have access to such information? He did say all of that. Let me play briefly what he said. I'd like you to react to it, and then we'll also look at what the chief of army staff, the chief of defense staff has said about that. Then let's begin to look at the crux of the matter. What is really the problem? If you think the Fulanis have been attacking your people over the years, what is the problem? What do they want? How do we solve the problem? Because we won't keep talking about issues without looking at possible solutions to that issue. But let me quickly play about 1 minute
Before
from that
the
interview,
Elwata
and then I'll
thing
let you
happened,
react.
I had on the 27th of last month a security alert sent to me by somebody that the Fulani were planning to attack Yelwata. I have it on my phone. That means before it got to me, it would have reached the security apparatus of this country. Unfortunately, Mr. President, he appointed the NSA, a Fulani man, the Chief of Defense Staff, a Fulani man, the Chief State, what do you call him, the Minister of Defense, Fulani, the Minister of State Defense, Fulani. Now, when such information reaches these high offices, do you think it will go beyond that? The whole insurgency in this country is driven by one factor. They are driving, using religion to drive the insurgency, be it Boko Haram, be it the so-called herdsmen militia. They recruit people who are not even Fulanis. They recruit people who are not Kanuris under the guise of Islam. What General Obasanjo said, he used the term Islamization and Fulanization. We find accomplices within the military, that is within the security forces and other sectors of the Nigerian economy and polity, when the people at the top are people who belong to those ethnic nationalities being under consideration or under probe, then what would become of it? Nothing. So if on 27th, an ordinary person like me got a wind of this thing, and it came and happened, and people were massacred, over 200, then you know there's something wrong in this country.
Okay, so Barrister Frank, I thought to call your attention to this. And very quickly, he made quite some allegations in that conversation, and I'd like you to react to them. First, he did assert to the points that to the fact that what I did not play there was one of the things he said that um, if the Nigerian government claim that they are unaware of the perpetrators of this crime, that they would likely be like the people that President Goodluck Jonathan once referred to as being difficult to wake up a man that is pretending to sleep because they are aware. And then at some point, he even asserted that giving these high-ranking security positions to Nigerians from Fulani extraction. It's like a settlement, like an agreement that, okay, we'll give you guys this, we'll give you guys that. But let me let you speak to some of the other things that he said, if you can speak to them very quickly.
Okay. Everything.
Do you think this whole thing is religious? It has a religious and ethnic leaning.
Very well.
That's what the
It's
accusation
it's
he's
it's it's
made.
it's religious and ethnic. Okay.
Why? To
Religion.
what
Yeah.
end?
Okay.
Religious and ethnic. To what end, really?
Okay. So we have a certain section. I don't want to generalize it because even me sitting here, my mom is a Muslim.
Oh,
She's right now a practicing Muslim. Yeah. So there are a lot of peaceful Muslims in Nigeria, as well as there are a lot of extremist Muslims in Nigeria. Those are the section of Muslims that feel that yes, they must dip the Quran in the ocean because that is the promises of their forebearers. They've said the jihad is a continuous process. The jihad hasn't stopped.
where have you heard them say
This
this? What's the evidence to
this is
this?
over and over now. Precious. This is not something hidden. This over and over and over again. And so that is why amongst the Fulanis, anytime they come for attack, there are a lot of the Alagos. Alagos are Alago people that's of Nassau State. They are in Obi, Kiana local government and Doma local government. Many of them Muslims. So the Muslims they join them. So those were the ones that carry out. For them, it's a jihad against the infidels, sort of. So that is the religious part of it. That they are carrying out a jihad against the infidels. Against the infidels is what they call the Christians, for goodness sake, unbelievers. So the any part, of course, is the colonization part. That they want that land. They've been invited. They've been inviting their other Fulani kinsmen from other countries in the Sahel to come. There's a lush green land in the Benue Valley. They want a total takeover of the land. And of course, the jihadists made their Waterloo in Benue State in 1804 when they staged the jihad, when Danfodio staged that jihad. They
Mhm.
couldn't penetrate Benue. And stories had it that he was killed in Benue, so they couldn't penetrate. So it's a continuation of what Danfodio brought to Nigeria from Futajalo when his father left Guinea, Futajalo, to come to Nigeria. And then they captured the Hausa lands because they are all over. There are few in Hausa land, but they are the ones who are dominant. All the emirs are Fulani. You see a population, a town in Hausa land that is like made up of 80% Hausa people, 90% Hausa people. But the emir of that town and the most prominent people in that town are Fulanis. And that's what's happening all across Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kanu, Jigawa. You don't know why you're looking at it in bewilderment. That is what's happening. Many of these places, the Fulanis are only the emirs. But even Ilorin, is Yoruba.
Parasites.
Is Yoruba? But the Fulanis are the emirs now. The traditional ruler of Ilorin is emir now, emir of Ilorin. That's Amir. Amir, that's the Fulani title, for this. But they are Yoruba because they captured the place during jihad, you know. So that is what's happening. That is what they want to do in our place. They forgot that this generation is not like that generation of about 200 years where people will just be in their villages. Then you just appear in camels and horses wielding swords and cutting everybody's neck, and a lot of people will run and then leave you with the town. Then you impose your flag. It will never happen. And that's why the other time I told you about Israel, because in those days when they just came, they just took over the place, flush out the Jews, sort of. So they thought that now fighting the Jews is like those days again, that you come back, you just appear from nowhere on horses and slaughter everybody and then impose your flag. It won't happen. And you are seeing it. You are seeing the example even with Israel that it will never happen. They call for total destruction of Israel. It won't happen. So that is why even now all the attempts, they are just killing innocent souls. But you never get that land. It will never belong to you because this is a new generation. Oh, keep fighting that. And let me tell you, Precious,
Okay,
let me tell
go
you,
ahead.
these people know that they cannot fight us. So they use their, they constitute the establishment. They are the one who constitute the establishment in Nigeria. Because today, the National Security Advisor, just like the guy was saying, the president of the Middle Bells, the stuff I just watched before now, the video.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
Mr. Beach.
So Ribadu is a Fulani guy. He's the National Security Advisor. The Minister of Defense, Badaru, is Fulani. So these are the people in charge.
However, he got it wrong with the minister. He got it wrong with the chief of defense staff, because chief of defense staff is
No, that one is Southern Kaduna. General
yes,
Musa.
it's Southern. He's Zango
Yeah,
Gata.
it's Southern Kaduna.
He's not.
So I didn't call because I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
So these are the top echelon of Nigerian security architecture. The National Security Advisor and the Minister of Defense. Even the Chief of Defense Staff is not up to them, because these are the ones that brief the president every time. And that is why they skewed the narrative that the president is talking about. Hey, we should share our land with their neighbors. We should. Do you understand? Because they are the people who briefed him. They are Fulani, and you will never ever hear Ribadu describe the killing in Benue as a terrorist attack or Fulani attack. He has always been describing it as farmer herders crisis. Last month, when APs were having their 2 years summit, the Tinubu's administration 2 years summit, when ministers were giving their reports, if you watch, go to YouTube, you'll see it now. When Ribadu came out to give the security report, he was speaking with so much energy when he was talking about what they are doing in Borno. Boko Haram, they are taking on this, they are taking on that. Then when he came to Benue, then he realized, he said, and the farmer header crisis in Benue. I said, no, mister, we don't have something like that. He said, the farmer header crisis in Benue, we're trying to solve it. We've done so much about that. The conflict, then I marked all these things. Then the next thing is called the conflict. The conflict in Benue has been reduced to a marginal level. Then all of a sudden, the tempo increased when he was to talk of IPOP. Your Excellency, in the Southeast, we've decimated IPOP. We've run out their camps, we've bombarded their camps, we've taken. Go and watch that video. You see that when he was talking about Boko Haram, the tempo was high. When he now was talking about Benue, then the tempo deflated. The farmer header crisis in Benue.
And so, are you accusing the National Security Advisor of being
no?
complicit?
What we are saying is that
are you saying that he knows exactly what's happening in Benue State? And
why not? Why not? Why not? Why not?
That's
because
a serious accusation.
Hold on. Why not? Because why are they taking the terrorist attacks in Benue separately? Have you ever heard any of them call for the arrest? What they do is that they try to mask it. They will say, we condemn it. When we say, the last time Sultan did not say anything about it, then they brought out a press release from Jamaatul Nasr Islam that Sultan was ahead.
Other elders responded to you, they apologized.
They say
that they condemn it too.
Okay, so condemnation is different from calling for the arrest and prosecution of those. It's just like
but the Nigerian army said they will arrest them and prosecute them. See, people were attacked today by Christians extremists in Plateau State. They've been arrested. So those in Benue State will be arrested too.
We are waiting for that. But listen, I was referring to the press releases of these people. They are very careful in dropping their press releases. Very careful. They always calculate their words. Because, of course, if you are calling for the arrest, you are indicting yourself now. You guys are the patrons now. You guys are the patrons. When 911 happened, listen to me. When 911 happened, George Bush said, we will make no distinctions between the terrorists who carry out this attack and their sponsors. That is how it should be. So when you say, no, we condemn the killing in Benue and we console the people of Benue, my sister, that's just cosmetic. It's just like you went to Nigerian University, right? You see campus cultists in the university. Are they not the same people who organize anti-cult protests? Do you understand? They organize symposium. They go into student union leadership, and then they'll be getting money from politicians to organize an anti-cult seminar. Cultists. So that is the exact situation. They are condemning. The cultists will not be calling for arrest of the cultists. Do you understand? You won't be calling for the arrest. You'll be saying, no, this cultism is not good. We are condemning cultism. So that is exactly what these guys are doing too. Oh, we condemn the killing in Benue. ask them to call for the arrest of the people. That simple thing. Call for the arrest. They won't. That's what we're saying. They won't, and they are the same people who describe it as farmer header crisis. I told you the last time that anybody who described these killings as farmer header crisis is a co-conspirator, or at best a traitor or a coward. But basically, it's a co-conspirator. Okay, what is the war there that you're calling the farmer header crisis? Who is fighting who? The people that are killing Yorota, at what point were they fighting you? So
Okay.
that is what we are saying. We are shielding away a lot of things in Nigeria, shielding away a lot of things. It's an agenda. And that agenda, the patrons are too mighty, too powerful. That is why we are not
So
arresting.
speaking about this agenda, do you think that it is possible that the president, a whole commander in chief of the armed forces of the entire country, is oblivious of this? And if he is or isn't, then why then did he not balance his security apparatus? Yes, I understand the balance of the chief of army staff and being from Yoruba extraction, but just like Mr. Beatrice Pogo, the president of Middle Belt Forum, mentioned in that short clip and in that interview with Arise Television, why the NSA, a Fulani person, and the the Minister for Defense Fulani, the Minister for State for Defense Fulani. Could it be that the president is just knowing this, or what do you think is happening in the hierarchy? People with the talk say why this happened during Buhari's time is because he's their brother, so he was employing his people alone or appointing his people alone. So why is this happening in President Bola Tinubu's administration, a southerner? If your accusations are
do you know? Let me tell you something. I don't know your ethnic group, but do you know your own people, right? They are contented with what happened today. They just look at. They are contented with the present. You understand? You don't have a long-term plan. The Fulanis, it's an established fact. Everybody knows that one. They always have a very long-term plan, and that is why they always strategically place their guys in the armed forces, in the police. Those guys end up being Inspector General of Police. Do you understand? It's an established fact. For this, I give it to them, because I always tell my own people that, guys, can't you learn from the Fulanis? Can't you? It's just like the last time David Mark was Senate President. He made sure he fixed a lot of Idomas in strategic positions in the federal. If you go to Abuja, for instance, the Federal Civil Service, if you see the directors from Benue are usually Idomas all through. For me, the guy was being a perfect representative of his own people, to the extent that he capitalized. No, because as David Mark, for instance, was a senator representing Benue South. Benue South. Do you understand? So his priority is his people. We too have senators. So why were they not doing that? So if you go to the Federal Civil Service and they say, we have about 10 directors from Benue, the rest are sure that out of these 10, 9 will be Domas. And I give it to them, it's a thumbs up. They are an effective minority.
Yeah.
So that is
Your
what
people are the majority in Benue
Yeah,
State.
we are the majority, but Idomas, they are using their minority to be very effective. So we call them effective minority. You understand? You go to the soldiers, to the armed forces, the General Enenche, General this, General that, they are all Idomas. You understand? They are all Idomas. They made it strategic. So we are just so carefree. We don't support ourselves. But Fulanis, they line up their guys. They line up their
Now, talking about this, in 2015, did your people from Benue State not know all this when they supported the APC ticket? Because they supported Buhari in 2015, they supported him. Otom was in APC in 2015 now, when he was voted as governor.
No, in
So what
2015,
happened?
Oton was in APC. Okay.
Yes.
Are you talking of
So if they
2015 or
know
2023?
not 20, I'm coming to 2023. But first of all,
Yeah.
2015, they don't know this. And then if it happened and they knew in 2015 and they saw the results in former President Muhammad Buhari's administration, why then did they vote APC again in 2023, including in federal and in state?
Let me tell you, the local politics who play in Benue
That's the
State.
question people are asking.
Let me tell you the local politics who play in Benue State. The politics of Benue is more of reactionary kind of politics. We are reactionaries. So every government in power, in the next election, that government will face a kind of opposition that she never imagined. Because we are not always contended. You understand? This, you see, this governor, he came on popular vote, right? He was a popular priest, you know. They link him to carrying out mass healing. Just a popular priest, nothing more, nothing less. Sort of. And we are a Christian state. So they voted him based on that. But the major factor that led to people voting APC in Benue State first was that the fact that they are reactionary. They reacted to, they say, Otom, his leadership was very bad, that, oh, he was not paying salary, he was only counting on the Fulani thing, the fight against Fulani. He always go under that to conceal his failure in other places. That's what they are saying. Do you understand? So they are, you see, even Akume, who is the godfather of Benue politics. I was his coordinator for youth and student in 2003. The kind of opposition that Akume faced in that election, he has never faced it in his life. And so people are saying he won because it was Paul Unongu of the APP, then AMPP, that people were alleging that won the election that time. The opposition was too intense because I was right there in the middle of the campaign as the director of youth and student of George Akume re-election campaign organization. When Susan was going for re-election in 2011, he faced the steepest opposition, and it was alleged that he lost that election against Professor Uba, who Benue people never knew. They just brought the guy from California. He was a lecturer in California here in the United States. They brought him just merely 3 months to the election. 3 months. Professor Uba had no history of doing anything in Benue State. Do you understand? He had no history of doing anything in Benue State by pointing that, okay, look at what I've done in this community or that community. But he nearly took Suswam off his feet. In that 2011. So by 2015, it was the same. People reacted against the sitting government, that's the government of Suswam. By 2019, it was also the same. By 2023, people were tired. They say everything associated with Otom need to go. Say anything, the issue is anything but Otom. So even if Alia wasn't the candidate of APC, anybody that APC will have brought at that time will have won that election. Anybody. I was a coordinator of media and publicity of Samuel Otom's senatorial campaign organization. I was a spokesperson of Otom's campaign for Senate. So I've always been in the middle of Benue politics because I've always been in the heart of campaign organizations. Not like a youth group saying they are supporting. I've always been inside the campaign organization. So we know it. We felt the tempo. Benue people were against. So it was now anything but PDP thing that led to voting in Asiwaju. Do you understand? Galvanized by the fact that Alia was a candidate of APC. Alia was so popular that, look, in my community, they say, I was telling them, I said, look, we are voting PDP for they say, no. Our father was say, it is only what father tells us that we will do. Do you understand? It is only what father tells us.
But what is the general atmosphere now? What is the general fate? How do people see Reverend Father Alia right now in the state as a governor within these past 2 years?
Well, you can see that.
Does he still have that popularity?
No. He knows. He doesn't have that popularity like before. Do you understand? He doesn't have that popularity. So he has a lot of work to do in the next 2 years to repair his image, to build up his popularity. And then, if not, he's going to face the Benue people in the next 2 years because he has lost like that community, for goodness sake. I was so surprised to see the heavy pro-Alia people blasting the hell out of him. I said, I didn't notice my brothers at that time. They were saying Alia is just the Messiah and the everything. Do you understand?
Okay.
So right now, the governor needs to show up his support. Me, I don't have anything against him. By the way, I'm not in the country. I'm studying right now. I'm concentrating on studying to see what we can do.
Okay.
You know?
So let's go back to the attacks again. Just like what I told you that Mr. Beatrice Pugo said, the president of Northern Elders Forum. He said that he didn't mince words. He said that these are calculated attempts, just like you have said. And he said that the military cannot say that they do not know. But when they have their people there, what would they do? You also said the last time that the military was part of those that invaded your people. That in fact the military supported the headsmen or the people from Fulani extraction, in your words, that attacked Yellowater. Now the military has responded. I like to play some things that the chief of defense staff said in reaction to some of these things. He said that some arrests have been made, and that the fact that they're not talking does not mean that arrests haven't been made. You know, when the attack in with the Benue travel, the Hausa travelers happened today. Today they arrested 22 people. I don't know if you heard about that incident. Some
Okay.
Hausa Muslim people that were traveling in Plateau State, and then they were apprehended and mobbed and killed, sadly, about 12 of them. We hear that some of the vigilantes there saw them late at night and mistook them for people who's been attacking them because that area, Mangu, have been having series of attacks. So as they see them, they just think, say, they don't come within the house, they be Muslim. Now then they attack us. And they mobbed them, they killed them, burnt their car. And some of them sustained injuries before they attacked. But they've arrested 22 people. Do you feel bad that till now, 8 days, you can't tell the number of people that have been attacked in your state yet?
But
Sorry, have been arrested from the attack in your village.
listen, Precious. See, I'm a realist. I'm very blunt. It's because we fail to be realistic. We fail to be very open and straight in Nigeria that we're having some of these problems. When things happen, people begin to shy away or begin to conceal the truth or begin to fear to say the truth. This issue of arrest of the people that attacked the Fulanis, or you say the Hausa travelers, for me, it's not surprising because that is how it has always been. It
Wow.
has, yeah. In the people that killed the guys in Uromi, were they not arrested? Were they not arrested? In short, the whole of that community were they not arrested? That to the extent that even the governor of the state was even helping to arrest the guys. Do you understand? The people that killed people in Basa, there was another the Basa travelers in those
Yes.
few years ago. They were all arrested. There was the guy, this Samuel Jackson or Sunday Jackson in Adamawa, who killed a Fulani guy who attacked him. He killed a Fulani guy in the course of self-defense. Was he not arrested? Was he not condemned to death? That the Supreme Court of Nigeria even validated that judgment, that impunity, that sentenced him to death.
Yeah, you're talking about the guy. You're talking about the guy who killed the Fulani man who was about to attack him in his farm.
Yes. So
Supreme
I'm
Court
saying
passed
that when
the
it is against them, right? There's always arrest. Anytime it is against them. The bombing some 3 years ago, 5 years ago in Doma, around Doma, that killed lot of Fulanis. If you remember, there was a bombing that killed a lot of Fulanis. Do you know they arrested hundreds of thieves before the army now how to say, no, it was them who carried out our operation and they are very sorry about this death. And they compensated. National state government alone gave 300 million as compensation to the family of these Fulanis killed. The federal government also, it was under Buhari administration. The federal government also paid hundreds of millions. This same national state government has not given one person yet, out of 1 naira yet. 1 naira when the attackers they all came from Nasarawa state and returned back to
How
Nasarawa
are
state.
you sure that these attackers came from Nasarawa State? Again, that's another accusation.
See, you are far from this place, so some of this may be strange to you. These are things we all know. We even know their accounts. We know their accounts, and every time they're meeting, we know. Do you understand? Like I told you the last time, these people even they do meet. Like even last week, no, this week they met in a hotel in Lafayette, hundreds of them.
After the attack on your village.
See, hundreds of them, they met in a hotel. I will give you the number of the leader of that meeting. He owns the number, that's the Toyota Camry, his number. The number of that
His
Toyota
plate
Camry.
number, his
The
car
license number, yeah, the license plate. The license plate of that. Listen, and this is the guy that is always driving in Benue. He has a tinted glass, the Camry was tinted. So it's always traveling all around Benue. They had a meeting in Lafayette. So these things, they are always
after
in
the
the
attack
open.
on your water.
Do you know that it has become normal normal now in many of these villages in Nasarawa to see Fulanis with their AK-47 passing on bike. It has become normal.
I don't understand. No, you go to calm down when they drop these things. You go to
See,
calm down, not vex.
no,
So are you
now,
saying
no, I'm very
that
surprised.
after the attack in your village, in your water, that made
Yes,
the president visit Benue State, that
there was,
some of those
there was,
people who
yes.
conducted that attack had
No,
a
I'm not saying,
meeting? Okay.
I'm not saying they were. I say a large group of people, about more than 200, had a
Of
meeting.
Fulani people had a meeting.
Yes,
It could just be
exactly.
ordinary Fulani people. Now,
So
can Fulani people not
listen
be
now,
meeting?
listen.
What makes
When
you
they do
think
have
it's the
such
same Fulani
meeting,
people that attacked you that had such meeting?
it is usually after such kind of meetings that we usually get attacks. We do get attacks after such kind of meetings,
I like the way you tried to place your camera the other time. Please, can you help me place it properly again that way
like
so that
this.
yes, I'll get a full
Sorry, I'm
understanding.
using my tablet. I'm using my tablet, so it's on the holder of the tablet, so it's slant until I bring out my hands to push it back.
Sorry. Okay,
So
go ahead.
yeah, so they do. Most of these things are in the open. Do you understand? It is only the act of attacking that is done in secret, that they come in the dark of night. Do you understand? But them parading their arms, moving everywhere, taking bikes and flying with their arms, they're always in the open.
And then
In
you
the
said
open,
it's
in
now
just
normal for AK-47 to people to be parading with AK-47 in Nasarawa State is normal.
see,
That's an accusation.
it's not normal for any other tribe, but for Fulani, it has come to be seen as the usual stick that Fulani do hold. Do you understand?
Are you
You see
serious?
them, even the ones that have been grazing in Benue, they enter now, they wrap up their AK-47 on their neck. Do you understand? It is normal. It has become normal. We've normalized it. We've normalized it right now as I speak to you.
How possible is it that
So
the military or security agencies are oblivious of this?
when I told you that is the agenda part of it. When a people have a plan, you don't. Why are they not arrested? Like in all these attacks,
Are,
how
are
many of
you
them?
sa-
See,
are you saying that they are not arresting them because they just don't want to arrest them, or is
they
that
can't
what
be
you said?
arrested. The ones that were arrested. See, when I was in government in Benue, right?
Hey,
About there was a time about 6 of these guys were killed and were arrested after killing our people. They took them to the divisional police headquarters in Bajimba, that's the headquarters of Guma local government. The following day, a directive came to the DPO to release these guys. They even sent vehicles to go and convey them from that station. Vehicles. They sent vehicles.
somebody has also stated it here on this show that the Fulanis never last in detention. That whenever they detain them, that they don't take long and they release them back. I'll look for that voice
No,
note.
no, I'm very surprised that you're a journalist and you're just finding it. That's why, before I see, I'm an authority in this area. There's nothing about this case that I don't know because I've been involved in it very deep. See, before this Yerota attack, let me tell you the connivance of Fulani military with all these things that is happening. Before this Yerota attack, eh, 2 weeks before the Yerota attack, my father's friend, a retired army, my late father, his
Hmm.
very bosom friend, a retired army, my father is a retired policeman. His friend in the village, a bosom friend, Ulam, a retired army guy, he was killed in his home in Yerota by Fulanis. He was killed with his son and they butchered his wife. They thought that she died.
2 weeks
Although, yeah, 2 weeks
to
before
this
the
your
attack.
water attack in the same
Yes,
your
before the
water.
attack.
So that means
Yes.
there was an attack before this one. That's
Yes, now, yes. See, there's always attacks every week. This one is just because the number is so huge. And then the world was
hey.
concerned. The Pope, bam, reacted immediately. VDM went there, and then the whole thing went viral. If not, it could have been taken as the usual ones.
So
So
that
two
means it's
weeks,
been happening and nothing happens.
I say every time, every time. That's why I told you that our people don't sleep in their homes. Why do you think that our people don't sleep in their homes? That I tell you that people sleep on the road median because of these attacks every time. Do you understand? Why is it that people go to sleep in the church and the primary school? It's because of this attack every time. So now, 2 weeks before this attack, they kill Ulam. That's the man's name, the retired army officer, with his son and butchered his wife. Do you know that the following day, after that killing, in my ward headquarters, which is 10 kilometers from Yerwata, that one is in the interior, you know, The vigilante, because those ones too, they are always on alert. Fulani have been killing them. So the vigilante there now arrested one Fulani guy who was riding a bike. The bike had splashes of blood all over. So when they arrested him, after good drilling and beating, vigilante in the bush, arresting a suspect, you know what they do? After they beat him and drilled him, the guy now confessed that they were the ones who carried out attack yesterday in Yerota. And that this bike, because we were asking him, because he mentioned that that's why there is blood here, the blood of butchery. You understand? Yeah. And that this bike was given to him by a soldier in Ude there, my ward headquarters, 10 kilometers from Yerota. There's also a detachment of soldiers there. So the soldier's name is Suleiman. So they took the guy and the bike to where the soldiers were stationed. And then they caused rowdiness there. So the soldiers had to shoot some those shots in the air. Pa, 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 even shot 2 people there because they were protesting that that Suleiman must be arrested and prosecuted. So they caused so much rowdiness to the
for aiding the Fulani guys.
Exactly. It was his bike. He released his bike for that
So that
operation.
means they used his bike to conduct that operation.
He
And
was
then
a
the guy
Fulani
was
soldier.
going to give him back his bike.
Yes. He was a Fulani
Yes.
soldier.
An army officer's bike was
Yes.
used to conduct an operation.
Yes. Right.
To kill
these
people.
these are the things that we face every day in that community.
So, Mr.
So,
Frank, this thing you're saying, are you sure?
So listen, we need to tell ourselves the truth. We need to tell ourselves the truth because we're just shying away from all these kind of things. And that's why the whole thing is persisting. So Suleiman, right now, we're asking army authorities, where is Suleiman? Because they took him to Makodi and we've not heard about him again. They took him to Makodi. Suleiman in Ude, ward headquarters of Niev Council Ward of Guma, local government of Benue State. 2 weeks before the Erota attacks of June 13 and 14. That was what happened. But it never made the news beyond Benue social media, and even the social media is just the social media of Guma people. Do you understand? I can send you the links of the social media. You can go to the social media pages of. By the way, tell your fans to follow my Facebook. That's my name on Facebook without the Esquire, Frank Uto. To follow me on Facebook. I was off Facebook. This was disabled in January, but I had to come back on Facebook last week. To start telling people some of these things, to start writing about these things that are happening. I just had to return to Facebook last week after 6 months absence. So that's my Facebook name. That's my Instagram name. That's my TikTok name. Frank Uto. Now, go to Benue social media. The Facebook pages of people from Guma, especially people from near my area. Last month, you see this Suleiman story. But it doesn't go beyond because we share it just within ourselves. It's just like story. This guy, see what happened. Hey, they release him. And that's all. It doesn't go into the mainstream media. That's what we'll be facing.
Okay, so let's go back. I like us to attend to this issue because we must talk about the cause and effect and possible solution on what we can do. So you said that your people were aware of this incident before it happened, and then
sorry, Precious. Sorry, let me just respond to one of your somebody who wrote. You say, so you guys know the people. Why are you not confronting them? You guys are cowards. We're not cowards. Let me tell you what happened. The military that is always sent to Yerota, what they do is to disarm our guys. Over the years, look, during Susam's time, we had enough arms, and that is why it wasn't happening because we know there are camps in Nasarawa State. So when they attack, what we do is that we go to those camps and destroy those camps. We take the fight to them. So they felt the brunt of the TP. We are natural warriors as a TP, So, but what the soldiers have been doing in Yerota and other settlements in Guma, what they do is that when they come, they go to disarm the youth. Do you understand? Like when the Fulanis come, the youth repel them. After repelling them, the soldiers now begin to go after the boys that did that without going after the terrorists. So they disarmed us completely. So you cannot fight them with that. That's why we do run to go and hide behind the soldiers.
Okay. All right. So going back to the conversation, you said that your people were aware about this before it happened, right? I would
Yeah,
like to speak to that particular incident. And when you said the people were aware of it, how did you guys get that information? How did you get the information that they were coming?
like I told you, right? These things are always
Because
not
Mr.
as
Beatrice Pogo, the president of Middle Belt Forum, also said the same thing on the Rice Television that he got information about it. So go ahead.
yes, yes. So we got the information from somebody in that community. Many of the
In which of the
settlements, yeah,
communities?
yes. If you had played it, this thing I could have interpreted what you say in T.
Okay, I will play it.
He
I
said,
want you to, lay
okay,
it
so
before I
the
do
voice
that.
note I sent to you was sent to us 5 days before the Yerota attack.
Just
Well,
5 days before the Inawata attack.
yes, it was on okay, it was on 6th on Salah. Because in the voice note you could hear that, today is Salah. He said today is Salah.
Mhm.
So these boys had a meeting here in Adudu. Adudu is a town in Obi local government, not far from Benue border. You understand? So
Is
they
it
had a
Kogi
meeting.
State?
Yes, he called it. He even called the name of the chief of that area. And so when they are investigating, these are the people that they have to go after. He say, hey, the chief is supporting these guys, the Fulani guys, and encouraging them to attack Benue because that Benue people have also attacked them. So they should attack Benue. So right now, as I'm talking, I've sent the recording to you. You can play it,
I'll play
and
it.
then
Okay.
the translation from T. You could
Okay.
hear the guy who sent the recording talking that saying, it's Salah. So when Salah happened, Salah happened before the attack.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Salah happened
So
before the attack.
let me quickly just play that. Let's take a listen.
Okay.
Mm. All right then.
So chamba wesi chi ah aiki ene yaran ku ufa Mangu in Nasarawa ha dudu. So yaran kurun ya mungwa kwa tumem na hama mwira nomba hin yakwa nomba nguzanga kakwala msomo na hagu ene na ha ne facho share nemi via amba bwe mbatana tak hin ba bwe achumba kalen yeme nyai sala ene na ha bakaren yeme torodudu ka wene dudu ka wene tiumba zinda magwe hin Benue na ha be pavezi na tiukin na sara so situma hin buwa han ya hinenge bagwe mba kalen be kaje kuma machine pokarowa so mba yeme na tak hin ba bwe na ha zambre eni oro na fawo hin ba ya yo Victoma Temple or we saw you kako would happen wejera. So msunechi.
Okay. I don't know if I need to play that again, just for reconfirmation. Sincere apologies. Let's just kindly take it again.
So chamba wesi chi ah aiki ene yaram ku ufa Mangu kin Nasarawa ha dudu. So yaran kurun ya mungwa kwa tumem na hama mwira nomba hin yakwa nomba nguzanga kakwala msomo na ha group ene na ha ne fatyo share nemi via amba bwe mbatana tak hin ban bwe achumba karen yeme nyai sala hene na ha bakaren yeme torodudu ka wene tiumba zinda magwe hin Benue na ha me pavezi na tiukin na sarawa so situma hin buwa hene ya hinenge bagwe mba karen we kaje kuma machine pokarowa so mba yeme na tak hin ban bwe na ha zambre eni oro na fawo hin ban ya yo Victoma Temple or we saw you kako would happen wejera. So msunechi.
Okay. So, by this incident, if you go by the interpretation, they said that these people are coming from Nasarawa State. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah, they're coming from Nasarawa.
Okay. And
From
that's okay.
okay.
And not just are they coming from Nasarawa State, they are also insinuating to the fact or stating the fact that or saying that your people had attacked them before and that's why they're coming to attack. So what may have happened? What could have happened within this period that would have led to this? And then I noticed that from
No,
there,
you didn't say
the
attack,
village
right? You say expel, that the chief have been expelling Fulani
expelling
from.
them. Okay.
Yes,
But I also noticed that the village that they said they were going to attack is the village close to your water, not your water. So does it mean that they
yes,
redirected us to your water instead?
yes. So usually, right, in any of their meetings, you will just, because it attacking a village is, it's sometimes discretionary, and sometimes it changes because of how convenient it is that attack the village. You understand? If you are going and you get the report that there's so much security around, you divert to another location. So Ngban is just 10 kilometers away from Yerota. So they will do cycle the area of attack. So when they say Ngban, it's not that it's far. So it's the same area, sort of. So, and again, that day that they attacked Yerota, it was raining. So maybe some of the group, they wanted to reach Ngban,
They
but because of
couldn't.
the rain.
Okay.
Yeah, it rained.
Okay.
It
So
rained that
when
night.
you said this particular voice note was circulated 5 days before the water attack, what did you guys do about it? If what you said is correct,
What did you do? What?
what did your people do about it?
No, they gave the military in Yerota now. They gave the military and
What
listen,
did
but
the military do?
listen, Precious, why are you talking as if you are not in Nigeria? They'll just listen to this and say, you
I'm
people,
asking. It's an
uh,
interview, so I'd
uh,
like to know.
yes,
So that people will be properly
you people,
informed.
they will just say, you people have started again, And then we pay so much like a cynical attitude towards this kind of things. If you go now, do you know that if you go to a police station now and say, I'm suspecting a robbery happening here or this, the police will even look at you and laugh. You know that situation. You look at you first. Who tell you that one? How you take note? And all this, and then they will not move. They will even suggest that you pay for pen and paper for you to write what you brought, your statement of bringing accusation that something is happening somewhere. You know that. So these are the things we need to change. The values we need to change in the country. We need to be very professional. We are not that professional as security agents. We are not that That is a truth. It's a notorious fact. So it's not an accusation. It's a
So
fact that
why
as
do you think that the military and the entire security apparatus did not react to this before the
okay
attack?
now, do you know our military is understaffed? That's the truth. And then like also in Yerota, I don't know the reason why they didn't react, but in Yerota, do you know that even on the day of the attack, the soldiers were just 4 in number.
Yes, and then we heard that the base that was nearby did not barely responded to the incident,
After
according to what sources said.
Makodi is 25 minutes drive, 4 hours operation. There's no reaction from Makodi. What do you want me to say? I don't know why it happened that way. So it's because of the lackadaisical attitude we pay towards all this kind of thing. Because Yerota is 25 minutes drive, 25 minutes on a smooth road, federal highway with no single pothole anywhere on that road. 25 minutes drive on.
Pothole no day. Then why Oga Umahi
No,
continue
no,
to repair the road?
no, because it's a new road. The road that Buhari just did now in the last 2
But
years ago.
Oga Umahi have directed that the road should be worked on because that's why the president could not
No,
come.
the road that will be worked on is that place that there was flood. It's not in Yerota.
Okay, all
The
right.
portion that was, yes, because the contractors, right? It's in Akaleku. Anybody in Nasarawa or Benue who's listening to me know where I'm saying. That place is called Akaleku before
Okay.
Agaragu. That's when you leave Kadorku. You reach Akaleku before Agaragu. So there's a slope, then there's a stream at the end of that slope. So that stream, when it rained heavily, it has been recurring over the years. So these contractors did not work on that thing very well.
Okay, so they will fix it.
That's
So going
yes.
back to the conversation very quickly, people want to jump into the conversation and ask you a few questions, and I know that your time is also running. You need to go.
Yes.
I like to play a few things or reactions of the Chief of Defense Staff to this conversation. I like you to listen keenly and then react to it based on what the reality is with your people in your water. Kindly take a list. Let's see if I can get some of the things he said about this, and then let's quickly take his reaction to them.
I reason because, having gone through my analysis and looking at the Sahel, the main attraction to all these terrorists and bandits is Nigeria, because this perception Nigeria is a rich country.
And that that there's no law to prevent them from getting in.
And the borders are porous. So now the easiest way is, and that's why it's important, if you follow the news and see the kind of killings going on in Niger, Chad, and in Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali, so much. If this continues like this in the next 1 year, there will be issues. And of recent, there were attacks from Burkina Faso
in Benin Republic is just 50 kilometers to Nigeria. That is another area. So for me, I think, and like I mentioned, all around us, we have Francophone countries. Our ideologies are not the same. For us to be secured, it is important. Let us fence our borders. Some people say, look, it's expensive. But I say, what is money if you are dead?
Indeed.
It's of no use. So countries that have sat down and have analyzed and seen that, look, strategically is important, because once you fence that area, you use technology now. You have cameras, you have drones that will go. It reduces the manpower you need to engage in that area, and they could be used elsewhere. So that's important. And besides that, now for Pakistan, they use wire mesh, double wire mesh for all that distance. So if the distance is 1,000, they use double, which means 2,000. And then use concertina wire at the middle, so that even if you penetrate here, before you get through here, you are seen and action is taken. That has given them respite. That's what we are looking at. We have Ajakuta steel mill, we have rolling mills in Nigeria. We could engage them. We don't need to go anywhere. We just tax them from here. They can produce what we need, and then we deploy. Now you see the level of employment we're going to, opportunities we're going to bring in building those aspects. And the most critical one for us now, even if we're to start, let's start with Nigeria and Niger.
Is that the most dangerous?
That's the most dangerous, because the Lakrawas, that's where they're coming in.
Yes.
The Boko Haram that are coming in from the Sahel are coming. The ISWAP guys are coming in all through those areas. So that's why it's critical. If we start from there, and we can start state-wise, at the same time, each state will start on its own, and before you know it, we're there.
Yes, and but that's a good point. It doesn't have to be just
the federal government. No, it doesn't have federal. It could start at every level. But the important thing is, look, we have a threat that we have to really, really look at. It is very critical and it's very important.
All right, so here he did talk about the threat and the need to fence the country, but let me quickly play the clip where he responded or reacted to what happened in Benue State and what they are doing. So
because it was not announced, does not mean it's not taking place.
Have you arrested anybody there?
The police has arrested a number of people,
right?
And actions have been taken. Investigations ongoing with the DSS, the police. It takes a lot. Because we are law-abiding individuals, so we have to be sure of what we're doing. And I think that's a critical aspect. But all the security forces are working together to ensure that this stops. If you look at how did we get to where we are, over time, issues have been on ground, small skirmishes have been going on because law and order is not there. Punishment has not been meted on individuals have committed. A criminal is a criminal. Everyone who commits a crime should be prosecuted. That has not been done. So that is the issue, and this thing has been
but why
the
do
one
you think
in
it's
Benue.
Not being done?
Well, I think I really don't. Like I said, most of it is.
You don't want to get into
political.
the politics.
I don't want to get into the politics.
Right. I can understand
yes,
that.
Yes.
But let me put it another way. Yeah. What is your sense of how best we should characterize what's going on in Benue State and the rest of that north central region? Are there still, should we still be calling them farmer-herder clashes, or should we now call it what it is, which is pure terrorism? Because the barbarity with which these crimes are carried out, the fury, it looks like something by Boko Haram or ISWAP.
So let me tell you, I think it's a lot. It's just a potpourri of all of them playing out together. And, criminals have a tendency to want to work together. So you can't rule that out.
But if you don't call it terrorism, I don't mean to interrupt you, then you're not going to get the kind of resources you need to really tackle it. If you keep calling it farmer-herder clashes, it looks like it's kind of community skirmishes. When this appears to be a much bigger thing.
There's a lot. We have the herders in it, we have the kidnappers in it, we have the criminals in it, we have the terrorists, everybody is playing a part in it.
And you're mobilizing for all that.
All that together, because we have to deal with them all at the same time. And the way it is that, we have different challenges in different regions. And this is peculiar. Like I said, historically, it's gone back, way back. And it started in the past. If a cow enters a farm and damages a farm, the cow is arrested or caught, compensations are paid, or if they kill an animal suddenly, it's compensated. So over time, that stopped. What stopped it? That's the problem. So we started losing faith with those ones. Instead of these settlements, people started taking laws into their hands. If the cow gets into the farmer gets angry, deals with the cow. If he deals with the cow, the owner of the cow also gets angry and attacks the
So there is revenge.
So there is revenge. So these are the issues on ground. Right. And so which means, from my own assessment, three things matter. The people in Benue State believe that there's land grabbing going on. They have that perception. And because over time this has happened. Now, most of our troops, when we send them on patrol, some of the areas are empty. Nobody is there, but there is no foreigner there. But the idea is that if you go in there, you might be attacked. One thing. Secondly, the issue of the animals. The animals stray into farms. Now, because if you know Benue, it is lush and it's very attractive to animals. If an animal gets into a farm, there's always a problem. It creates problems. Now, if you arrest the animal or you kill the animal, it becomes another issue.
Right.
So if we stop the animals from moving, there won't be issue. If we stop killing the animals, there won't be issue. So for me, these two things are basic. The issue of land grabbing is political. The government, state government particularly, need to really step in to ensure that we address and bring all the parties together.
Right.
Sit down and agree on this. And from henceforth, any acts that is conducted is acts of criminality. We can start dealing with that from then. And I think we'll have peace if we're able to do it.
Okay, so could you kindly react to some of the things he said? I don't want to prompt you, so kindly just go ahead.
Okay, so the issue of
Yes,
building the wall. Yeah, the video, I support the issue of building the wall. But on the other hand, you know that, a lot of people bring this narrative that these guys are terrorists from outside. Yes, we know that a couple of them are from outside, but of course, the whole thing is led by the ones inside. They only invited their kinsmen to join them, and you could see that the politicians have been finding the embers of this carnage, because the other time, about 2-3 years ago, Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi, said Fulani are global citizens, and so they are free to settle anywhere. Anywhere. That's all Fulanis does. Even those from Guinea, from this, and they are free to settle in Nigeria because they are global citizens. So these are the kind of comments from our politicians. That's the political aspect. From our politicians that always try to increase the tempo of this carnage.
Do you
because
think that there's a possibility of that, the fact that that may be what they feed the rest of the Fulani population, and perhaps that's why
yes,
you
because the Fulanis in Nigeria, they always make you look as if, yeah, we own this country, so we are free to come. We are free to come. The Fulani, let me tell you the truth. The Fulani in Nigeria looks at you as stranger more than his other Fulani from Mali, from Senegal, from Guinea, from Niger. Do you understand? As a nation, I should see you first and foremost as my brother. Because, okay, I'm in America today. The American here, the white American, I told you in my last interview that the white American look at that Hispanic American as more of his brother than the white from Italy. You understand? They are all white. They are Caucasians. The whites in here are Caucasians. Italians,
But the reverse is
Irish.
the case for the Fulanis. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes. So, but in Nigeria, the Fulani will see the guy from Niger more of a brother than you. That's the truth of what's happening. So they invite these guys. The guys are all over us. You go to that Makodi. Some of the bike men, they cannot even speak Hausa very clear. So you know that evidently those are the guys that are coming from Niger and all those things.
Okay, so from one of the things that Chief of Army Staff said is that because your vegetation is lush, your land is lush, so it's attractive to them because they need to feed their cattle. Do you think that's one of the reasons?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, because they always give the reason of, there's desert encroachment in the north, there's desert encroachment, climate change has led to desert, to desertification, sort of. So they are moving southwards to getting water, getting lush vegetation. And in Benue, I said, we don't have a problem with that. But we have a procedure by which you carry out your business. Simple sense. Every business have modalities by which you carry it out. Your business is cattle rearing. We're saying, come, get a land. There's land available, can sell a land to you. The land belongs to the people of Benue State. So I have a very big land in my village. Come, I can even give it to you. You can come and rent it or lease it for like 5 years, 10 years. Build your ranch. So what is the problem in that? Do you understand? What is the problem in that, for goodness sake? Build your ranch. These guys are saying, no. So that is where the takeover is. Because we didn't do anything bad. That is where the takeover is. And let me tell you, right now, as we speak, The land grabbing we're talking is just not mere rhetoric. It's really happening right now, because right now, as we're talking, there are many tea villages in my council ward, in my local government, that tea people fled and left. Fulanis are occupying that. Even in my maternal village, the village of my mom, my grandfather's flat, my late uncle, he built a flat in the village. Right now, like these Fulanis are the people in the house.
And you people cannot go there now.
How now?
If
How?
you
Do
go,
you
what's will
understand?
happen? Say how now. If you go, what's
Eh,
will happen?
because you are not going with arms now, so they will take you on. They will take you before you reach there. Do you understand? Right now,
Okay, so
as you
how
speak,
is it
I
that
say in my
how is it
maternal,
that the security agencies don't know these things you're saying? Or why do
but,
you think the
but
security agency may be
listen,
helpless trying to
General Musa said it now. He said they are afraid of going there for fear of attack. He said it in the interview. He said
yes.
some of these other places,
So
the
then why
lands are
can they
they
not
are
chase these
empty.
people away and so that the original occupant of the land can come back? I don't understand what is going on. General Musa is
Okay,
not a Fulani man. So what is happening?
yes.
What's going
So
on?
exactly. So because why would Nigerians be IDPs in their own countries? In their own country rather.
They
Why
have
would
houses, but they cannot return to their
they
houses
cannot?
because it's
So
been occupied by
so
someone else.
because we don't have a government, what we have are people in power, but we don't have a government. These are two different things. People in power, not government. Because if you're in government, Section 14 says the primary responsibility of government is security and welfare of the people. That is the primary responsibility. Any other thing like building of bridges, building of roads, coastal road, and it's a secondary responsibility. The primary is the security, and that is why the state exists in the first place. If you read the works of Thomas Hobbes and John Locke, you know the concept of state. The concept of state is that I will relegate my rights to defend myself to you, government, so that you look after me to make sure nothing happens to me. If not, we could have been in anarchy. Everybody's doing self-defense and then there will always be government. Do you understand? I'll get arms to be defending myself. There will be anarchy. That is why there is a concept of state that we all relegated our rights to government so that they will defend us. So there is no government. That is why this is happening. There's only people in power. These are two different things.
So are you saying
In
that with the
and
look of things right now, the people of Benue State, Plateau State, perhaps are helpless? That there's no just nothing they can do about this because you said that if you try to get arms to defend yourselves, the military disarms your guys. That's what you're saying. That the military
very well.
disarms your youths, and
Yes.
then you're helpless because you're just at the mercy of whatever happens.
Exactly. Exactly. We're helpless. We're helpless. And not just Benue State, Plateau, Southern Kaduna, the non-Fulanis in Nasarawa State. Do you understand? Because even in Nasarawa State, the attack goes on, especially against my own people, against the T people of Nasarawa State.
Nasarawa State.
Yeah, it goes on and on and on. In Nasarawa State there. Do you understand? I think that was what led to the problem between Igons and Fulani. If you learn of this Ombati, that problem of Ombati, one man that they went to arrest and his militia were able to kill about more than 50 security agents. Some years ago in Nasarawa State, you should know the story. Ombati, it's an Igon man. Yeah, because of this Fulani issue with Igons in Nasarawa State. So I think the people in power need to explain to us. Because you see this thing called government. You see the room I am in. Government is like when you are in government, when you are a government, like let's say federal government, the whole country becomes like a room. A rat that passes through this room, you see it. Because intelligence is everywhere. You have security agents everywhere. They get this intelligence. You don't use the intelligence. Then is it not the same Nigeria that even Dubai sent to us the name of terrorist sponsors? Did we do anything with it?
Okay.
Other countries be
Yes,
helping us. Other
Uh,
countries
be-
be helping
because
us.
I was going to ask you that a lot of people will be worried that why are you speaking out like this? Why are you profiling the Fulanese as a main character in the crisis in Nigeria, in a lot of places where there is crisis in Nigeria? Because you mentioned most of those places, and some of them are part of it. So people want to know what's your motive? Why are you speaking
Uh,
out?
uh,
And
my
why
sister,
are you profiling these people?
I'm not profiling them. I have hundreds of Fulanis as my friends. Hundreds. Hundreds. You know, I grew up being close to Fulanis that thief because I was born and raised in Jos. I schooled in Away. I schooled in
Yeah,
Kefi,
but just
Government
is
College
not the
State.
land of Fulanis either. And I thought it's
No,
also
no, just, you know, just not. It's populated by Fulanis. Just not. And that's why they always produce the House of Assembly of that area. And all they call themselves Jasawa. You understand? Jasawa. So just not is populated by Fulanis. So I grew up in just not part of Jos. Sort
okay.
of. So yeah, so I got a lot of Fulani friends in school, up to when I went to Away, a lot of Fulani, went to Government College Kefi, number of Fulanis, you know, enough. Up to my time in the law school, I was the president of my set in the law school. I know the population of law school. I was the president of the 2012-2013 set of the Nigerian Law School, headquarters in Buari, you know, and virtually all the Fulani supported me. You know, I was the candidate of many of these guys, sort of. So, but there comes a time, like Dino will say, you tell the truth, you die. You don't tell the truth, you die. That is just the truth of the matter. So there comes a time we need to tell ourselves the truth. Why are we not living in peace? Okay, people say ethnic profiling. What is ethnic profiling there? When Fulanis are the ones who give you excuses why they conducted that. Is it not Mayati Allah who come up every time to explain why that thing happened? Then the last time I told you, Precious, I
Sir.
said go to TikTok. I'm not sorry, I'm your brother. So
There are lots of people, though. See, there are also lots of Fulanis under that post we made initially that are accusing your people of killing them. That's why they attacked your people. In fact, they're even threatening that more attacks will come up in Benue State. I saw some of
where,
those messages.
no,
I
where
wanted to
did we
put
kill
them up,
their
but I
people?
thought to leave them.
Where did we kill their people? They killed our
That's what
people. They killed us. We showed the bodies, right? Did they show you one guy that they killed, that our people killed? You know. So they always, like the people, they always take responsibility. So why will you not call them by their names? Plan. So if they want us to call these terrorists that be killing by another name, then let the terrorists bear a name like Lakurawa, Boko Haram. When they bear that name, then let the Fulanis help us to fight them. So that we'll say Nigeria is fighting this terrorist group. Do you understand? But they cannot give that because they are the ones. Because they cannot come out to say they are fighting themselves.
Okay.
So there's nothing like
So, for instance,
ethnic
we have
profiling.
messages like
Listen, if it
this.
is, listen,
It says,
Precious, if it is
you
two
kill
people,
Fulani. You see that
if
message?
it if it is just a moment, I'll respond to the just leave the message. I'll check it. If it is still people
Okay.
killing people like this en masse in Kano, that large number, still people because of farm, that still people want land for farm, and they're killing. Do you know they will call us by our name? They'll say thief militia. So at that point, it will be ethnic profiling. Even me, I won't say it's ethnic profiling because it's true. Thief militia. Do you understand? Do do you know they'll call us by our names? If it was still people killing people like this in Jigawa, in Kano, in Sokoto, because they need land for farming, they'll call us by our name. They'll say thief militia. ESN, is it ethnic profiling? Eastern Security Network, Eastern. So are all Eastern people terrorists? They are not terrorists, but that is the fact that this is who is carrying out Eastern. Do you understand? Eastern Security Network. Tamil Tigers in Sri Lanka some time ago. Because there are Tamil people fighting the government. So Tamil Tigers. So it's not ethnic profiling. Where they're describing them exactly who they are. Tamil is an ethnic group. It's a language, the Tamil. You know, they speak like the Hindus. So the Tamil, so they call them the Tamil Tigers. So that is why the Fulani militia, it's not any profiling, it's a statement of fact. Tell the Fulani nation, if they don't want this, if they don't want us calling, why have they never called a meeting of the Fulani nation to say, look, guys, you guys are making Nigerians stigmatize us. Stop this thing. They would never call that kind of meeting. Have you ever seen them call the meeting? If it was Fulani a thief that this is happening to now, Mzo thief will call the meeting. That's the umbrella body of thief people. They will call and say, look at what is happening. People are stigmatizing us. People are giving us bad names. Stop this thing. The Fulani as a nation has never called a meeting of their people to say, look, you guys have done too much in this place. We want you to stop. You guys are our bad eggs. And so we're going to expose you. Have they ever said something like that? This is a normal thing that other people will say. We're going to expose the bad eggs in our midst. But because it got the validation of almost everybody there, yeah, those people, those infidels, we're going to deal with them. So everybody, this is just a similar fact. Let me read this guy. You kill Fulanis
Okay.
and the thing, you don't retaliate. Where did we kill Fulanis? Where? And okay, he say I'm Jukun.
I don't know.
He say he's Jukun because the Jukun have been teaming up with the Fulanis against Thief. Especially,
Oh wow, really?
exactly, especially the Jukuns that are not Christians. Do you understand? They take it as part of the jihad. So they've been teaming up against, even them, they have a problem with the Thief basically themselves because the part of Taraba where they are Thief indigenes of that place too. So they've tried to flush them out. So they've had that perennial problem against the Thief people. So if he's coming from Jukuman, I understand. I have a lot of Jukun friends who are very good friends, but if some of their bad ex could be, talking like that, it's part of it. We've understand these things been happening over the years. So, but when they are saying, okay, we attack Fulanis, like the Rota stuff, for instance, and they mention anywhere where any Fulani guy was killed, they can't mention because if he was killed, they will display. They will say, look at the number of our people that they killed. So it's quite unfortunate.
All right. All right. Nigerians, phone lines are open. Let's just quickly take a few calls very quickly before we wrap up. Phone lines are open. You can call the WhatsApp number 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call in case you have questions to ask Barrister Uto. Please kindly do so. Or you join the link in the post, and then the link is in a pinned comment in the comment section. Kindly join that link, and it brings you straight to the studio to join the conversation. I see all of your reactions and all your messages. I don't know if you'd like to react to some of those messages. But phone lines are open, by the way. You can just call and join the conversation very quickly. 0817-029-4077. That is the number to call should you have questions, reactions to any of the things that Barrister Uto has said so far. It's your name Uto, or please kindly help me pronounce your name so that I don't
Actually,
get it wrong.
the pronunciation is Uto, Frank Uto. But yeah,
Tall.
Uto.
Okay.
But I don't have a problem with Frank Uto because that's the name they call me in my secondary school. Frank Uto, no
Oh,
thieves. Yeah, Frank Uto, Frank Uto. So
thank you.
yeah, but the thief man will say
Thank you.
Frank Uto. Yeah,
Okay. Frank Utor, thank you so much.
exactly.
I go learn the language small. Small, small. If you
Yeah,
teach me, I go learn. Okay. All right. So taking a few reactions. They say, what is Governor Alia doing in the state? Somebody did ask this question. What's Governor Alia doing in the states if you don't have all the infrastructures you have mentioned? That is talking about the things you just said about water, light, and all of those. So what's the governor doing? And what have your past governors done, really? It's embarrassing to know that a village that is as prominent as
yeah. But that
yours
is the Nigerian story. That is the Nigerian story. It's everywhere in Nigeria, and for us, it's quite unfortunate. We don't have any of this. There's no government presence apart from the primary school, like I mentioned, the primary school there,
Okay.
because we don't even have
All right. So no
a
lights.
government secondary school. Do you understand? We don't have, yeah,
So you have to go to another village for secondary
yes,
school.
yeah.
Yay.
We don't have a. Listen.
Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
Nora is
Sorry,
saying, how
sorry.
do we as Nigerians?
There's a junior secondary school. There's JS1 to JS3. Then you have to transfer to
There's
another place for
people
the
travel.
SS. And that's a village on the
Okay.
highway.
Worried. Oh, that's what I'm
Yes.
asking. So Nora says, so how do we as Nigerians resolve these problems, and how have peaceful nation that will attract all Nigerian citizens outside the country back into the country and also the global community? I'd like you to respond to that, but let me quickly take this call. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, Precious. Good
Sir,
evening.
that should be
Yes.
Daniel. Daniel, how are you?
Otami Uto, Muno Chivi.
Thank you, my brother. I'm so.
Nsunga.
Frank.
I don't know what I spoke, but I just said, why did you speaking to you? But I have to speak back. Go ahead. He's responding to you. He said, thank you,
Yeah,
my brother. Nsu. He said, Nsu.
yeah, yeah.
I have to no.
You know, go,
Kasi,
you know, go hear him. He said, Kasi. Now, maybe go be your
Kasi.
interpreter. Kasi,
Uh,
Kasi. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Seriously,
No sell us.
yeah.
I am so happy to listen to my brother that really understand what I've been saying for years.
Mm.
And I even told Precious that 2 months time, they have to prepare in Benue, but I know I cannot have a way to go back to Benue. I was thinking I'll be able to be chance to go back to Benue, but I wasn't privileged. So I really appreciate the whole thing, Precious, seriously. Almost, make I say 82% before things happen, like 3 weeks before it happened, information always go around. The Nigerian security, let me say, the intelligence agency in Nigeria is seriously top-notch, more than a lot of countries, or more than what we know. Before, didn't you hear the woman in National House of Assembly from Benue State that was complaining?
Absolutely, yes.
Remember one time I told you about Kīllēd, and I told you about RAN. Before the attack of RAN happened that claimed 21 military soldiers' life, I told you clear information 3 weeks before time. Information have reached all these NGOs. Even 2nd of December of last year, in which a lot of NGOs are preparing to go to the eastern part of Nigeria. I told you about that. So the intelligence of Nigeria is working. It's not something that they will just see as if, okay, it's not working. The plan was that, okay, NGOs are going to move into the eastern part of Nigeria anything from January. A lot of them will be moving there. Before this, Donald Trump, you said crisis can't happen where everything just there as it is. The agenda and a lot of issues in Nigeria is much. It's just that a lot of people that knows all these things, they can't even say it. And sometimes when you say it, even if you watch the body language of all these big men in our military or police, whenever they are talking about it, just watch how their eyes blink. Even this interview that you played this evening, watch how his eyes blinked seriously when he was talking about the soldiers moving to all these local governments, that there are nobody in Benue State. Is that the body language that tells you that the Nigerian soldier, I bet you, if Nigeria wants to settle this crisis in Nigeria, just carry 5. During the time of man, no mention his name. During the time of one major in Maiduguri, you need to see the JTF in which they train the Maiduguri here. If they go to battlefront, I bet you the way they move in battlefront, especially, let me not mention it, you see how they move tactically. They are well trained. What are they doing in Benue State? Nothing. The language of of my governor that I so much loved, I am so much in love with that man before the election.
Which man?
It's because of what? I don't care that, okay, he's even a thief man or I'm a Doma man. I so much love Father Alia.
Okay.
And the greatest thing that happened to us in Benue State, I always tell people, is we staying in the same state with the thief people. Because they are the greatest people that you can ever stay with. Because the thief man does not pretend. If you watch the two thief, I'm so much in love with that, my leader. The reason why I'm calling now, I wish Frank would tell you about Ghana, because I'm sure Frank knows a lot of story about Ghana. Before the amnesty of Otom, and before Benue becomes so porous, that all these things are not happening in Benue. Maybe Frank can give us a little bit details, because me, I'm so much interested in that story. I know a little thing about the issue of Ghana and how he died and all those things, but I don't know detail.
All right, thank you.
But I know Frank is there and he knows a lot of things about Ghana.
Thank you.
Let's know if Ghana was really there for Benue people, helping Benue people, or is it that Ghana was part of the big problem that we have in Benue before his death?
Thank you.
Because the federal government planned his death, just as they are calling meeting that all these people are gathering in Zamfara and different places discussing with the soldier. That's how Ghana went to the meeting before they decided to pick him and take him to the bush and killed him.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you. All right. So would you like to react to who is this Ghana guy?
All right, so Ghana, Ghana,
I am asking as an ignorant Nigerian, not as a journalist that should know anything. I'm very
yeah,
ignorant. So who is
yeah,
this?
the pronunciation is like just like the country. So it's not like Jerry Ghana. It's like the country Ghana. So
Okay, Ghana.
that's his name.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Ghana. So
okay,
his real name is Tewasi Agwaza. It's
okay,
from Katsina local government. So
okay.
Ghana was just a criminal who went into violent crime. So
Mhm.
kidnapping, armed robbery, all the likes, and he has a militia. So if you go to YouTube, you see a couple of his interviews where this same Fulani that we're talking, he said Fulani paid him. There was a time they paid him about they were ready to pay him like 300 million, to ransack communities because he has a militia. So it's
Mhm.
like a mercenary. Do you understand? It's a
Mhm.
mercenary in the hands of other people who want to commit this kind of crimes. So you will just rent his militia. They'll just go and carry out the act. So the Fulani people have been paying him over and over again. So there was a time listen, I'm telling you, go to YouTube, you find there was a time they want to ransack a
How is
community
his
in
name
Taraba.
spelled, Ghana?
The Ghana, that's why it's calling it Ghana because it's Gana, but the pronunciation is Ghana.
Okay, all right.
Do you understand? Just go
Mm.
to YouTube and find Tewasi Agwaza. Tewasi is Terwase. Agwaza is Agwaza. So Tewasi Agwaza, Ghana.
Okay.
You
Thank
find a lot of his interviews. This thing I'm telling you, it's still on YouTube. I think it's a channel interview with Charles Eruka of Channels, where he say the Fulani people have been paying him. He has been ransacking communities for them. So there was one that he wanted to go and carry out in Taraba that he was charging them 1 billion naira. So, but they say they'll pay
you.
him 300 million. So at the end of the day, he did not receive that money
Billion,
because
1 billion naira.
to go and keep people, that's this kind like this Yerwata thing. Do you understand? Like this Yerwata thing
Okay.
to rent his army, to rent his own militia. They'll just go, they don't care who is there. That's how life is so cheap, you know. So
Okay. All right.
it,
But was it because a lot of people? I think there was a time people thought that perhaps he was even helping to protect the thief people too. Is that
yeah, because
correct?
because he has
And
yes,
did he play
because
that
when
role?
he has a militia, so Fulani were not coming to that part of Tivla. Do you understand? Because the
Mm.
militia, so that is to the extent that people feel he was helping the thief.
So
But he
that
has
means
never
at that
gone
time he was alive with his militia. The series of attack that you guys have now was not happening in this
no,
frequency.
because it does not belong to my own part of Tiv. Tivland is big. So he
Mm.
is from Katsina Allah,
Okay.
neighboring Taraba. Neighboring
Okay.
Taraba,
Okay.
that's where my wife is from. As a matter of fact, my wife is from the same council ward with him.
Okay. With Ghana. Okay.
Yeah, with Ghana, yeah, they're from the same council ward. So in Katsina Allah local government. So his was just a criminal syndicate. But of course, the Fulanis were not coming, because they know that there's a superior power from these guys around this area. So they've been leaving the area. That is why people feel as if, no, when he was alive, the Fulanis, it's just strictly their own side, but not our own
Okay.
side, you know.
Okay.
So during the amnesty program of Otom, he surrendered because they called them to come out of their bushes and surrender, and they'll be given amnesty. So they gave him amnesty, but after the death of Otom's special advisor, special assistant on security, then, he was accused of being behind the death. So he ran back to
Mm-hmm.
the bush. He ran back to the bush to start from where he stopped. So then there comes the second amnesty program again. This time around, this amnesty program was initiated by the Catholic Bishop of Katsina Allah Diocese.
Mm.
So the government keyed into it. So they brought them out. They said they are going to surrender. So they were to take them to Makodi for a meeting with the governor for final surrender for the second amnesty program. It
Mm.
was when they were close to Boko that they were intercepted by the military. Do you understand? So that is why some people felt bad over that death, because they felt that, look, the guy has said he's surrendering everything this time around, and he was so sincere because he respects, in Benue State, we respect the priest very well. That's why you see a priest is our governor right now. So the meeting was initiated by the Catholic Bishop of Katsina Diocese, whom Ghana respects so much. So, but on their way to Makurdi, they were intercepted by the military, and he was taken and killed. So yeah, some people that time were accusing the Murutai, the chief of army staff that time, that because Ghana does not belong to his faith. Do you understand? That if it was his own faith, so it's part of that. That is how they were linking it to part of the agenda. That you guys are killing our own warriors. But if it were your faith, how many Boko Haram people have come out and you are even absorbing them into the army? So you see, the conspiracy theory is so thick over and over and over again. Because Boko Haram guys have come out in their thousands. You did not just give them amnesty, you absorb them. You now absorb them into the Nigerian armed forces. But Ghana surrendered, and then you intercepted him on the way and took him because he's a team warrior. Yeah, so he's a team warrior.
So why don't you also show the same level of leniency you show to others, to the
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
because there are some of these bandits. Even in Katsina, that surrendered, and they were taken. They were accepted. Even Katsina, Zamfara, many of them are coming to surrender. In Kaduna, I watched Kaduna governor's interview yesterday on channels. I think he was the guest on Politics Today on channels, and he was talking about the amnesty granted to the Fulani terrorists bandits in Gwari. He granted them the amnesty in their thousands. So why was Ghana's case different? That is why the chief people are saying that it's part of the agenda against them, because they know that Ghana is a warrior. Like in this kind of case, if chief people want to rally, want to put up an army to defend them, these are the kind of people that will be involved. So that's why they exterminated him. And that is the bad part of it. That's why it made people become sympathetic to his cause. Do you understand? Because it's a human nature. People saying, "Oh, this guy has already surrendered, so why should you do this kind of thing to him?"
Okay.
So it's the human nature of empathy.
Thank you for responding to that. But let me quickly take on someone else's call so that I can release you. I can imagine that you can't wait to go. Mr. Mop, good evening and welcome.
Yeah, I have 10 minutes to go.
You don't want to show us your face.
No, because let me give the privilege to Mr. Francis Uto. Good evening, everybody. I'm not sure.
You're
I
welcome.
would have, but I respect the guy. So let me ask.
I bet show us your face, Joe. You would have. You
No, I'm
respect the
not.
guy because of the guy. You don't want to show your face. What?
Don't try it, precious. It's, you are my gear. So let me
Eh,
begin.
go
Greeting to
ahead.
everybody. I
Thank
have
you.
about 3 questions to ask. I don't know if you want me to ask one at a time or combine three of them together.
It depends
Ask
on
all.
how he likes to answer. He said, "Ask all of them."
Okay. My first question is about the historical and ethnic tension going on that contribute to this violence. What do you think? Is that any ethnic tension contributing to this violence? Because the president, who's supposed to have the hardcore intel as the commander in chief of Nigeria, he's supposed to have a very good intel. Is that any fact to the what he said?
The,
Would you
the
like to?
last speaker, the last speaker told you about intelligence here. He said, "Look, we have good intelligence, but it's executing the intelligence that we don't do." Do you understand? There's
Mm.
nothing like, even me when I was talking here, I made an analogy of what a government is. I said government is like a father in a room. Even the the cockroaches that pass in a room, he knows all. Do you understand? That's what a government is. They have intelligent agents everywhere. So they sum up their intelligence. They know all those things, but the will, the political will is always absent. And they always do that for political correctness. Now, the president may be scared of Fulani votes. They may be telling that, oh, look, when you do like this against our people, we are going to turn back against you. You saw it when it happened in Deborah's case in Sokoto.
Yes.
Deborah Joseph. When she was killed, Atiku tweeted. He tweeted immediately condemning the brutal killing, stoning of that young, beautiful girl for alleged blasphemy on a WhatsApp group. Atiku tweeted immediately condemning that. You needed to see the barrage of comment from Northerners saying Atiku is saying this. They are waiting for him at the polls. Before you know, you see Jack Robinson, Atiku deleted that tweet and started claiming it wasn't from him. Okay, you are claiming it wasn't from you. Okay, make a tweet to condemn it. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
He could not. Why? Because of political correctness. So that is why our country is falling. Because people are not ready to sacrifice for the country. In America here, the first thing is sacrifice for America. In the next few days, it will be American Independence Day. Even on my car, it's an American flag. Everywhere is an American. Listen, before I schooled in three. This is my fourth continent of schooling. I schooled in Malaysia, Inti International University in Ilai, Malaysia. Malaysia's independence is 31st of August of every year. Do you know that starting from 1st of August, every building, every tree, every structure, every mast, every car in Malaysia will be flying the Malaysian flag. Patriotism, nationalism, they feel a sense of love for their country. In Nigeria, we don't have it. Even government officials don't have flags in their houses. They don't have flags in their, do you understand? In their cars. You could go to government offices, flags are being torn. They don't even bring them down. They are very dirty. That's the ones that exist. But in this country, the first thing you see America with their shirts, every thing you see America. I love America. You don't find that in Nigeria. So there's no patriotism. There's no love for Nigeria at all. So Nigerian political system is just a criminal syndicate of people coming to align together to get what they want to get. I'm not saying this is not a revelation. It's just a fact of what you know. It's not a revelation. It's what has been happening. There's no love for the country. Look at how wealthy our country is. The biggest country, every continent, is always a star. In Europe, Germany is a star of that continent in terms of development, in terms of everything you want to say. In North America, US is the biggest country. US is A+ in everything you want to say. Go to South America, Brazil. Brazil is A+ in development, everything. They produce aircraft, jet. Many of the private jets our politicians are producing in Brazil. The Embraer jet. Embraer, they are from Brazil. Do you understand? Go to Asia, China. I don't need to talk about that. I don't need to know what China is. So come to Africa. No. The biggest country, Africa. No. It's a sympathy. It's pathetic. I was in Malaysia as a student when one day. So when I was in Malaysia, Botswana, they do sponsor like 50 students every year to my school. So Botswana students, they love Nigerian movies very well. That and so they do come to my apartment to watch Nigerian movies. So there was a day we were arguing when I was talking about Nigeria being the giant of Africa. I said, Frank, look, the only thing we like about Nigeria is their music and their artists, their Nollywood movies. You understand? They will say Omotola. You know, they say Nigeria is a pathetic case in Africa. That small country that is not up to Benue State. They are so proud of their country. They will say our country is the best governed country in Africa. Botswana students. Yeah, that's how they describe their country. No Nigerian can describe Nigeria like that. They say our country is the best governed country in Africa. And from that time up to today, Botswana pula, that's their money currency, is equal to $1 is just equal to 3 pula. They maintained it over the years like that. The people are so proud of their country. Come to Africa. In my school here, I have Senegalese. So proud. And do you know that Fulani are in Senegal? But they can't do what they are doing in Nigeria and Senegal. They cannot do. They cannot do it in Guinea, where they are coming. They are from. They cannot do it. They can't even try that in Ghana. They can't try that in Ghana. Do you understand? So why is it that it's happening in the giant of Africa? Because of lack of proper good leadership. Like I said earlier, we only have people in power. There's no government. There's no leadership. Because if there's leadership, you sacrifice yourself. You sacrifice even your ambition to do the right thing. But our leaders, they play only the game. I don't even call them leaders because they are more or less not. They are rulers, not leaders. Because leaders inspire, they motivate a people, they instill hope, they defend the people, they act. Those are the features of leadership. But what we have in Nigeria are just rulers. These are two different things. They rule, so they put authority.
All right.
They, you know,
So Mr. Mope, you have a second
Precious, can I
question.
can I
Yes,
finish
please.
my
Go ahead.
question, please, if you don't
Yes,
mind?
go ahead. That's what
Yeah,
I.
thank you very much, because I know he wants to leave. In order to buttress what Mr. Otto said, I had an interaction with somebody from Botswana. He just echoed exactly what he said, because they have free education all the way to
everything,
university level. And
free
even at
health.
all, they are being paid, I think, about 250 to go to school.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Yes.
give them money to eat and everything. So I'm just buttressing. So my last question, in order not to keep you the last, but not the least. So the question I want to ask, what is the role of Nigerian military and police in managing the situation? And lastly to that, there has been this narration, that there's a bias, and inaction against the security force. What do you think about that? Like the security force is in it. So those are my last question.
Okay. It looks like you were not here when I was discussing that. Pure.
No.
Look. Our security. If we want to be sincere, and if we want to be professional, our security will be the best in Africa. It was the best previously, but of course, it's not the best now, because I've been watching on Google. If you go and look at the 10 best armies in Africa, number one is always Egypt. You know, when you Google it, you see all the things. It's always Egypt. Before, Nigeria has that reputation of being the best in Africa, to the extent that we restored democracies in some countries in West Africa, in Liberia, in Sierra Leone. We restored democracies in those places. That's how strong our military is. We fought in the Congo in the 60s. We led and we won. But its professionalism became decimated in the military because of ethnic and tribal sentiment, tribal and religious sentiment. That's where professionalism started depleting, because a Fulani guy always prefer to appoint a Fulani listener as a general, as a chief of army staff, as chief of that. And so he paid allegiance to his ethnic group more than the nation. And then let me tell you how professionalism has depleted. In the Benue killings, for instance, these people don't go. Anytime, they always wait for order. Okay, they send you to these villages to halt these things, and attackers have come. Then you stay back and say you are waiting, that they did not direct you to fight these guys. They did not. No, they've been saying it over and over again. They did not direct them to do this, so they cannot go where they'll come and say, "Oh, these guys we saw them now with their AK-47. They are in, like, you point to, like, 2 kilometers inside. This is their location." They will tell you, "Oh, they don't tell us. That's not part of our. This is here. It's not part of why we are here." They will tell you. So what kind of professional here in America? All you need to do, you call 911, 999, bam. Just 2 minutes, they are all here. The moment, don't make mistake of dialing 911 in this country, because the moment you just dial 911, you just see like up to 5 police cars coming from different directions. They'll just come, leaving their the light, the amber light on. They just come out. They just battle ready within 2 minutes. That's how rapid response happens here. In Nigeria, in our locality, you tell soldiers, and say, no, it's part of the. And then let me tell you part of another reason I'm telling you that these guys are involved and professionalism has died. I told you a story of 2022, right? 2022, where those guys came to attack our village. And Staff Kingsley, that's the guy's name that time, he's a staff sergeant that was leading the detachment in Yerota, in my village. They repelled those guys. They killed 13 of them, 12, 13 of them, that I told you that amongst them we saw people with ID card. About 3 of them were carrying the ID card of Nigerian Army. 3 of the guys killed. Yeah, we carrying it. Do you know that the following day, just 24 hours, Staff Kingsley was redeployed out of Yerota? He was moved because that was no part of the directives. So they don't even hide it. The moment you fight these guys, then the next thing they'll just transfer you.
Okay, so the bigger question will be, why is you have a lot of military generals and all that, big military officials too, from the North Central generally. Why are they not talking? Why are they not talking? Are they oblivious of this? Do they not know? Why are they not saying anything? Why does it have to
There's
take a civilian like you to
there,
say something?
there's a general from my locality that's been talking, General Akem, former Provost Marshal of Nigerian Army. As a matter of fact, they finished the people in his own settlement. Chevingi, that's the name of the settlement, close to Yawata. They finished the people on that day. Many of them died from that his settlement. He's a general. He was the former provost marshal and the head of military police in Nigeria. But of course, there's an extent, there's a level to which they can go. And like you see, the general from Taraba, T.Y. Danjuma, he has been talking about this. He has been talking. He was one that has been advising Nigerians to arm themselves. He is the one who has even been revealing the collusion of the military in this whole thing. So you can't question a person like that. That's a former chief of army staff of Nigeria during Obasanjo's first coming as a military head of state. That's the former minister of defense during Obasanjo's second coming. That's one of Nigeria's most prominent soldiers who fought the civil war and won the civil war for Nigeria. So such people have been saying there is military collusion. Go and listen, go to YouTube and find out. He has been saying it over and over again. He doesn't hide. He said there's military collusion in this whole thing. That's a former soldier himself, a general. And so he has been advising Nigerians to arm themselves and defend themselves. And so even I think that is what I expect from the generals in Tivland, in Idoma land, to advise us to come out and offer their services of defending themselves, because self-defense is a virtue that is constitutional. It's recognized by law. And the law says, what the law says about it is that it must be commensurate. And so in reading what is commensurate, I would say when you come with AK-47, I should also have AK-47. That is what's called commensurate. So you can't come with AK-47 and I'm holding a gun, a knife or den gun. So, but Fulanis have been allowed to just wield this thing. They've been parading it openly every now and then. So it is time, and we feel that enough is enough this time. Because even a goat, when you push it to the wall, is bound to react. So they've been doing it. So the question that, if I see them, I'll ask them is, to what extent? For how long can you sustain this? Because you've been killing people, but the land is still not belonging to you. Do you understand?
But people have been,
Okay.
but they've been occupying some places. I thought you just said that they've been occupying some places.
Yes, they've been
So
occupying,
that
but
means
they are
it's
not.
working, clearly.
But they listen. They've been occupying, right? But they are not comfortable living there. Do you understand? They are not comfortable living there. That is why when they hear movement, they shoot the person. They always ambush people coming. Okay, you are occupying. You are not comfortable. So what kind of lifestyle is that? And you know that certainly the people will go back. They are going back. They are not leaving that land for you. They will go back. Whether the government likes it or not, we are reclaiming all our land. Because even if our mentality has started changing, everybody's beginning to activate the warrior part of him right now. And so when we start, it will take a different dimension. It may lead to civil war. It's so unfortunate because that's how civil wars happen. That's the story of wars. Most of these civil wars, that's how they take place. And many genocides, that's how they take place. When you attack a class of people over and over again, killing them, when they begin to react, it leads to this kind of wars.
Okay, thank you. Mopa, I'm sure that's all of the questions you have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay,
Let's
Precious.
just
Thank you.
quickly take this last call. Thank you so much, and then hello, good evening, and welcome. Is this Mazi?
Yeah, good evening. I'll be very brief. Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Go ahead. Mazi from
Yeah,
Germany.
Mr. Frank. Yeah, my question to Mr. Frank, is watching what is happening in Nigeria today. Did the involvement of Middle Belt, because as the history told us, the Middle Belt fought vigorously against Biafra. Seeing what is happening today, Mr. Frank, do you think that war on Biafra was necessary? Thank you.
Not the him fighter. Me know they are alive that time. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, the issue is that the way by which Biafra went out was quite questionable. There's a right for every country to want to go out. Do you understand? We balkanize, like the balkanize into different countries, Croatia, Serbia, all those places today, the former Yugoslavia and all those things. The people have a right to say we don't want to. But we operate a military regime at that point, and after the failure of the Arboria Accord, so maybe with all the meetings that were taking place, We ought to have stuck to those meetings. But then, even some of these people who fought Biafra in the past are somehow regretting. That's the truth. They are somehow regretting because they felt that really, Nigeria as a nation, the truth of the matter is that we have never come together to say we are forming a nation. US, that's what they did in 1787. Because by 1776, 1774, when they got their independence, 1776, by 1787, there was a constitutional conference where they all gathered from the 13 colonies then. That time, the United States had just 13 states. In 1787, they had that meeting in Philadelphia and drew the blueprint that, look, we are going to build a nation where we all agree. And that was where Thomas Jefferson, they adopted the Declaration of Independence of Thomas Jefferson to define the nationhood. And that was when they enacted their constitution and ratified it the following year, the Constitution of the United States. And because they all agreed, do you know that Constitution of the United States up to today was touched just 27 times? They have only 27 amendments. It's just 4 pages. But Nigeria has a constitution.
In fact, when Nigerians are complaining about constitution, I try to remind them that, for what I know, I mean, the US has been using the constitution you guys were using during
1787.
During
George
slavery.
Washington.
I mean,
George Washington.
If they can manage it with that difference, why can't they manage us?
So the only amendment they made in the Constitution is not even removing anything. It's just adding what was not there, like the Bill of Rights or like Amendment 22, which happened in 1945 when Roosevelt spent 12 years in office, because Roosevelt was voted 4 times. That's Franklin Roosevelt, 1933 to 1945. So he spent 12 years. He died in office. That's their Second World War president. So America now felt the need to define a presidential term, that you should not do more than 2 terms. Do you understand? So before 1945, there was no term of office of president. You can go for 20 years if you like, but those guys have been ruling with the fear of God. None of them has ever gone beyond 2 terms. Do you understand? It was not in the Constitution.
Even at that time, yes.
So even Roosevelt, why Roosevelt lasted for up to 12 years was because in 1939, Second World War broke out. Do you understand? Second World War broke out. And you know that a country doesn't really change her commander-in-chief during war situation. Just like Ukraine. Ukraine was supposed to have an election, but they didn't conduct that election because of the war against Russia.
Yes.
So that's why Roosevelt lasted for 12 years. So America, all this while, but today every National Assembly in Nigeria, when if time they come, they will make revision to the Constitution. Because it's not the people's Constitution. The people did not seek to give themselves that Constitution. So that was also what happened in 1914. Nigerians did not come together, congregate, to say they are going to establish a nation and live as a people. So it was just Lord Lugard who just woke up that day in 1914 and just say he's going to amalgamate the southern part of Nigeria and the northern part of Nigeria. And his girlfriend, his concubine, not even his wife, was the person who named us Nigeria, the Niger area. So it was somebody's chick. It was somebody's chick who he brought from England, side chick, thank you, who was staying with him.
Who gave us the name we have?
Who gave us the name Nigeria? A side chick. So we are a product of a side chick. Do you understand? So we're not a nation of ourselves. We did not create that nation. So you could say that there was a mistake of 1966, because a lot of people now wish that, they should have gone in 1966. Because even Okaku in 1990, a thief man who led the coup in 1990, he excised some part of Nigeria, some states from Nigeria, that, look, we don't have things in common with these guys. Let's tell ourselves apart.
Going back to the question he asked you, do you think that it was, what do you think? What's your opinion about the TIV involvement or the Benue State involvement in
because we won the war. The soldiers who won the civil war for Nigeria, that's what I say, we're a nation of warriors. They are the TIV, Idomas, and the Plateau general, the army from Plateau.
Is treating you now. That's the question he asked you, not me asking.
Exactly.
Looking at how the same country is treating you guys, what do you think? As an individual.
Some people really feel very bad that we should have allowed that to happen that period. But a section of the people feel that, look, there's always beauty in diversity, The moment as diverse, if we come together, agree to come together as a people, as one, there's that beauty in diversity. India is very diverse. India has more ethnic groups than Nigeria. They have about 700 ethnic groups.
We don't
You know,
even know that.
but yes,
We
we
don't
don't
even
even know
know
that.
that.
We
We
don't
just
even know,
think
but
that
they
it's
are
happening
united.
at first.
And then we have just two major religions. India have about 5 major religions.
Plenty.
Yes,
Christian,
yes, they
Muslim,
have
Hindu, Buddhism, everything.
Hindu, Sikh is a different religion. That's the Indians that tie their hair. You understand? They're different from Hindus. That's the Sikh. Sikh. They're the Sikh. They're a different religion. There's Buddhist. There are Buddhists in India. There's Hindu. There's Islam. There's
Yes.
Christianity.
Yes.
Those are the major religions there. But yet they don't have this kind of problem we have. So we've not agreed with our. See, let me tell you one thing. I'm a proponent of there's no need of putting Sharia in the constitution. We are not a theological state. These are some of the grounds. These are some of the reasons why we are having this kind of problem. Nigerian constitution has so much about Sharia inside. Senegal is 90% Islam, but there's nothing like Sharia in their constitution. Because you want to develop a nation, do you understand? You separate religion from politics. You separate religion from politics completely. And even the
Their
Nigerian
constitution,
constitution
I agree
mentioned it
with you.
that
Senegal is
that the government of the state or that of the federation, that in section 10 of Nigerian constitution, it says the government of the state or that of the federation or that of the state shall not adopt any religion as a state religion. But when you adopt Sharia as the law of that, it means that you have adopted Islam as a state religion. So there's no need for all these things. If you want to be judged under Islamic law, the customary law, you go under customary law of inheritance and say you want it to be done according to Islamic law. Good and fine. It has been happening like that before these people started breaking Sharia in 1999. So these things were the things that have been adding fuel to the fire. You've been separating yourself from us.
Thank you, Mr. Uto. I appreciate you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I have
Thank
to give my
you.
people a gossip before I let them go, but I have to release you now. I deeply appreciate you. Thank you
Thanks
so
so
much
much,
for
Precious.
this
Yeah, I appreciate you.
conversation. Thank you so much. We enjoy the rest of the evening. Please keep a tab on us in terms of what's going on in your village. Please, would like to know if there's any development and sure to let us know. And then if there's
I
anything
will.
happening.
I follow.
By the way, the Nigerian police is saying that there hasn't been any attack after Yelewata in Benue State so far. Is that correct? I'd just like you to confirm that.
Yeah, I may not know of other places, but my concentration is my area, my village. So, and I keep tab second by second, minute by minute. Even the SGF called me day before yesterday, Akume, my political godfather, to say, Kai, me, I know so much more than them. I know so much more than them about
I'm
this.
sure he
Yeah,
was
he
seeing
even
some of your
watched.
interviews.
Yeah, he even watched your interview. Your interview went viral. It went viral. If people in US here have been sending it to me. People in the US here. Yeah, so every team man, Akme called me very first thing this morning by American time. My immediate past SGF, SSG of Benue State under Oton's government. Tony Joho was with me for over 1 hour on this issue by saying they always have one thing in common, that I know more than them.
If Akume knows and he's SGF, why is he not telling the president? Why is he not doing anything? He's in this government and he's the secretary to the government of the federation. Why is he not saying anything? Why is he not saying anything?
Yeah, I don't know.
So why are they? Why are we helpless? What's the way forward for Nigerians really in this crisis? We'll continue fighting each other, killing each other. To what end? What's the way forward really? What do you think the way forward should be? Just before you go.
The way forward is for the government to be decisive. The government is everything.
Okay, so the government has to tell itself the truth and then handle it like the truth.
Exactly. The other side is to be decisive on this issue. That is why there is government in the first place. So all this English of kinetic and non-kinetic is kinetic measure. This thing needs kinetic measure, especially this terrorism. It needs kinetic measure. There's nothing like no kinetic there.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you. All right, then
Nice
let me quickly thank you to have a nice week. Okay, so just said to gossip to you people, my people. Did you know that while we were just, talking about all this gist, somewhere in River State, we hear that we're apprehending and holding down a sole administrator of a local government. You must sign a document, whether you like them or not. And I hear that is allegedly Wike's team. that is holding him down to sign a document. The local government chairman of a particular local government. I beg I go play the video for that. When I come back, I give one of the J's. I had to drop their Puruku Shapali before we drop the show. I go and watch it so that you don't say you heard it.
Automatically. Yeah. Sign immediately. Where is the signature? Stop. Sakas, confirm the signature. Is it correct? Hey! Go to face. Stop. The man. Come on, wait. All of you should hold on. You have to hold on now. Who is this man? Who is this man?
Okay, so in case you're wondering what is going on, that's now the sole administrator of Ahoda East local government area for inside River State, and so then use Fossam to sign a resignation letter. Now, make us show you a copy of the resignation letter as it is trend right now on top of social media. As we could just talk about on Shapali, you don't see the letter. When I did they try to force them to sign like that, and a day you see say that beating they happen like that. The letter you can see the content of the letter. It reads, let's see if I can read it very quickly to you. It reads Ahoda East Local Government Area, Office of the Sole Administrator, Ahoda East, and then letter of resignation, sequel to above subject matter. I humbly write to your noble office to convey to you my resignation as the administrator of River State. Now, this is him sending it to the sole administrator of River State. My decision is informed by desire to return back to the private sector. My sincere gratitude goes to the government of River State and the people of Ahoda East Local Government finding me worthy to serve as administrator of Ahoda East Local Government Area from 11th day of April 2025 to the 20th day of July 2025. Now, this is what is going on in River State, Nigeria. River State, Nigeria. So they are forcing people to resign. They are forcing people to do things. Now, people are trending this, and they said that these are supposed to be purported weak-case guys that forced this guy to resign for whatever reason. I do not know. It's still an allegation, and we'll get clarity on this conversation later on. But I just thought to bring it to the fore so that we're going to know what happened for River State. It is embarrassing. It is shameful. It is, I don't know what to call it, but is this the kind of country we live in? How do we progress like this? Must we grab power, snatch it, squeeze it, take it away at all cost? Well, that is it, my people. Make I drop the mic here. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you for your reactions. Thank you for always being part of the show. I would ensure that I, cut out high points and the excerpt of Mr. Uto's interview. And of course, I'll post it and send the link across to all of you. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Let's continue to speak for the growth and development of our nation. When we'll stop to talk, and when we'll start to die. So we'll not go stop to the talk so that this country will grow rich that level we want them to grow rich. My name is Precious Enyi. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And to the people who died today, who were lynched late yesterday, that is the Hausa Muslims that were lynched yesterday on their way to wedding, may their souls rest in peace. And this kind of incident cannot and should not be tolerated in our country, Nigeria. We must learn to respect life, irrespective of whose life it is. I beg, we could learn to tolerate each other. We could need to do this kind of barbaric acts up and down. I beg. All right, now protect your mental health, because he knows how they always tell another one, because we need them. Wahala need to finish. So please protect your mental health. I love you. Good night and God bless you. See you tomorrow.